You know, I'm just gonna butt in early. I'm not gonna let this wait too long. Uh, we're waiting for the stream to start anyway, so we might as well just kind of hang out for the next couple minutes before it starts. Uh, it's a little weird. Doing streams like this is always kind of awkward, I'll be honest, with the way the setup is. Because I kind of have to juggle it, but it's fine. The music you're hearing is not me playing it. I actually have the Warframe livestream open, and this is just what they're playing. You didn't look at the leak trailer? I actually did see the leak trailer. I won't be discussing any of it because we're just about to watch it, and the trailer will presumably be there, but my rationale was if I learn about a little bit of information 2 hours early, I don't care. But I won't be discussing any of it because we're about to see much of it anyways, so it doesn't really matter. This starts in about 5 minutes. We'll just hang out here and look at the slideshow for a bit until this gets going. No Twitch drop, which is part of why I'm streaming this at all, honestly, is because there's no Twitch drop. So be aware of that if you're watching yourself and just sort of like poking your head in. There's no drop or anything. We'll probably still get tactical alerts, Jesus, invasions, and like the Gift of the Lotus alerts, whatever the fuck. I can't think. Basically, we'll probably still get those, but I guess we'll just have to see. John Pork. But yeah, I hope you're all having a good morb or whatever. Good morbing, everyone. I have this Minute Maid Cherry Limeade from Wendy's. Dude, I didn't know they stopped selling this in stores. I'm actually kind of pissed. Minute Maid Cherry Limeade is the shit. They stopped like 3 years ago, and I just never noticed. And the Fomorian will pop? No, I actually haven't looked at its progress in a while, honestly. I've only been really doing my weeklies in Warframe and basically nothing else while waiting on this. About to 10 p.m. Yeah, we're about to hit 9 o'clock for me, which is when this is going to play. I love that my YouTube stream preview still slowly drifts out of sync, but my audience can actually see. It's full? Then it's probably going to start in like a day or two, would be my guess. Since the Razorback drop, weird. What do you think of KFC? I mean, if they make it well, it's good. If they don't, then it sucks. I also will say I'm probably not going to be as talkative on this stream because I'm here trying to, you know, take in the information same as everyone else. My dog is being stupid, sorry. My dog likes the warm air from my PC, so she'll lay next to it, and it just causes her to just be diabolical. Like, she'll just start licking the glass and shit. I think my dog is broken. She's old as fuck, though. She's 15 years old now, so bring your dog on camera. I don't have a webcam or anything to hook up to this. Here, let me drag my OBS over here so that I don't have to juggle this as much. I'm just gonna leave it on the slideshow till this, because right now, I'll just show you all. Right now, all the stream is this. This is all that we're seeing on here right now. So I'm just gonna leave it on this until it gets interesting, and I'm gonna leave this on my main monitor. This stuff is tricky, too, because with my 2-monitor setup, I actually can't drag stuff across the two, because if I do, then it changes resolution. Oh, something's happening. You know what? Fine, just as I say that. We'll just hang out on here. That's fine. It starts in 2 minutes anyway. Fine, I take it back. Fuck it. There's noises. Also, let me know if this is too quiet. Like, when they start talking, let me know. Normally, my audio is turned a bit down so the game's not louder than me. You want to buy the Emperor Heirloom? I already own it. Also, I am not reordering the Chitza. Yeah, let me know. Actually, I'm going to preemptively turn it up a touch. Let's turn it up by 3 decibels. You know, the worst part is Papa John's thinks that my brother is me because he's the one that answered the door. Your audio for me, at least, is pretty low. My mic... Okay, so my microphone specifically is probably kind of quiet. And the reason for that is I had to reinstall my mic drivers again. Because, like, for those who don't know, my mic will progressively get louder without me changing any settings. And the only way to fix it is to periodically reinstall G-Hub. I'm considering getting a different mic entirely because of this problem. It started to affect my brother, too. He got a Logitech mouse that required him to get G-Hub, and now his first-generation Yeti is doing it. but the fucking issue is, like, it'll get, like, the gain will just go up by itself, and there's no way to turn it down. You have to reinstall the drivers. And it genuinely had gotten so loud that I sat alone in a Discord call and just listened to myself, and you could just hear the background noise of my room constantly. G-Hub Blunder, thank you for the $1, Goober, I appreciate it. G-Hub, like, for your mouse, for mice, it's fine. For my G604, I like it, and I have to keep it because of my mouse. For my microphone, dude, I think I might just get, like, a HyperX. I think the Quadcast 2 just came out. Like, fuck this. Also, don't worry, chat, in case we get bored, I do still have the Ascended Political Ideologies image. We do still have this on hand, just in case. I showed that to my coworker, Mitch, and he lost his shit. This stream in general is just really quiet.
Hello, Tokyo Game Show. We're so excited to be here back in Japan. We haven't been back here since 2019.
Yes,
it's been
2019.
a long time. We're so excited. Tenoshimi desu, Tokyo Game Show. We're so excited.
Tokyo Game Show の皆さん、おはようございます。5年ぶりに日本に来れて光栄です。
Alright, we have exactly 59 minutes, or else
So the actual stream does not have drops.
We're so thrilled to talk about it, so we're going to kick things off with classic Devstream's introductions.
今回ちょっと時間も押しているので、そして内容もかなり濃いものとなっているので、
I don't know, live translation will also probably make it take a while longer.
My name is Megan Everett. I am your community and live ops director on Warframe.
Woohoo, we love you, Megan.
コミュニティディレクターのメガン・エベ
There's
ル
a
ト
lot
で
of
す。
background noise in the audio feed.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca Ford, and I'm the creative director of Warframe.
I just realized
そしてお
why.
なじみクリエイティブディレクターのレベッカ・フォードです。
The mics aren't hooked up to the streaming setup. There's just a microphone picking
Hi,
up their
everyone.
microphones
I'm
in the
Sheldon
convention
Carter. I'm
center.
the president of Digital Extremes.
What the fuck?
Watch very closely because during the stream I will disappear and be replaced by a very special guest.
デジタルストリーム社長のシェルドン・カーターさんです。はい。そして本日通訳を務めさせていただきます。
Can't handle live
務
streams.
めさ
That's
せてい
true.
ただきます。DE のエドウィンです。よろしくお願いします。
Daisuke Edwin. Arigatou gozaimasu, Edwin-san.
Edwin has the very difficult job of translating our banter, so
そう
good
こ
luck.
のジャジャーマ2人をどうにかしないといけないんで。
Alright, here at Tokyo Game Show, for the first time ever,
Bro, Caliban
we
hasn't
have an
gotten
actual
reworked yet. Calm
Warframe
down.
booth, which we are absolutely honored to have for the first time. And then today, we have an Aoi cosplay that's going to be at our booth with our partners at Hike.
そう今年の東京ゲームショーワーフレームブースが実はあってホール7 CO1 にあってなんとそこではなんと葵のコスプレ
There's
が
no way they're gonna finish
ハイク
this
さんのおか
Devstream
げ
in
で
the
用意
allotted
されてい
time,
るというこ
dude.
となので
She's modeled by Vega, a professional Japanese cosplayer and YouTube streamer for Tanake Rie. Oh, I tried
Well,
so
I don't know if
hard.
they said anything about
Big
any
Sister
other
TV. So
reworks.
let's take a
Megan
look
did
at that
say
cosplay.
reworks
そう
plural in
モデルはなんと
a
田
dev
中理
short,
恵
but
の
I don't know if that
マ
was
ネ
a
さん
mistake
TV
or
で
not.
YouTube 配信そしてプロコスプレイヤーとしても
Half an hour
活動
over,
され
they
ている
can't.
メ
Megan
ガ
straight
さ
up
ん
said on
に
the dev show that
担
they
当し
get
てもらい
kicked
まし
off if they
た
run
その
over
画
the
像があ
time
るので
slot.
見てみましょう
Got a revenue in the oven? Yeah, whenever they give out free frames, it almost always comes with a slot. Like, Stein X was with a slot. Nyx is getting one in 1999, and so is Trinity, so not for this update. Unless they release it early, but they didn't. I don't think there was any talk of that. Not the last I heard. Alpha Slay? Hell yeah. Wow, this cosplay's eyes don't glow. They really dropped the ball on this one. Now, they did a really impressive job with this.
Wow.
Sugoi!
Wow.
Kakui.
Why is Sheldon so loud? Did you guys hear how much
Alright,
louder he was
a
than everyone
Warframe
else?
Devstream. Why are we here today?
As So just to give everybody some context, this is our 181st Devstream, and we're very grateful to be doing it live from Japan. And we're going to talk about the future of Warframe today for the next probably 50 minutes now.
そうデブストリーム、初めての方は、デジタルエクストリームスでやっている、開発配信であって、今回はなんと
They just said it was
181回目を
part of a
ここ
cosplay.
東京ゲームショウとできるということなので、早速やっていきましょうか。
And in a super cringe way, I will practice my Nihongo thank you for Japan.
Just hello, welcome,
レベ
Blueprint.
ッカからメッセージが日本語であるそう
We
で
haven't
す。
missed anything critical
日本の
yet.
皆さんには10年愛情の愛がサポートしていただいて非常に幸運に感じています。Thank you, everyone. So,
That
we
has
have
to
a
be
lot to
nerve-wracking
show,
for
as
Rebecca
Megan
to do
said.
that up there.
And
Honestly, I
everyone
respect
translating
it.
So we have so much, we might as well just get started. Maybe, is it Sheldon's turn?
It's Sheldon's turn.
まずはシェルドンさんからお願いできますか。
Well, you may have heard Sony made an announcement about the PS5 Pro, and you might be wondering, when will Warframe support this?
そう先日発表された PS5 Pro
Rebirth Part 2. Honestly, that's
これ
something
が
I'm really
Warframe
hyped
でどう
for.
なるのかっていう話ですよね。
Well, I'm happy to announce that Warframe is certified for PS5 Pro and will be available at the launch in November.
ソニー公認
Oh boy,
で
both people that are buying the
PS5
PS5
Pro 対応となっており
Pro, it now has 3
で
games.
11月に実
Let's
装され
go.
ます。
Molly, fuck off.
Can I expense it?
Sorry, my dog is
Maybe.
chimping out again.
To go from the big screen of your couch to the small screen, Japan is our largest growing platform on mobile, and I want to talk a little bit about having this in your hands.
Blindness tactics moment.
そうモバイル版ウォーフレーム、皆さん遊んでいただけたでしょうか。
Concord was
結構
retired,
日
so
本
it's
で
2
マーケットが
games. Damn, it really is just Warframe and
そのことも
Astrobot
ちょっと
now.
お知らせしたいことがあるので、ぜひ。
There are 3 questions we get all the time. The first question is, we'll wait for that question. We'll get to that question eventually. First question is it the whole game? Can you play all of Warframe, including Koumei and the 5 Fates, on your mobile phone?
そもそもモバイル版ってちゃんと全部ゲ
This
ーム
is
が
taking
遊べ
so
るのか
long. Like,
新アップデ
obviously,
ー
no
トとか
shade
もある
towards
の
the
か
translator.
そこ
He's
です
just
よね。
doing his
And the
job.
answer to that
But
is
this
absolutely
structuring
yes.
is just making
The
it
other
take
thing
a
is,
while.
can you play with all your friends? Can you cross-platform play? Can you cross-save? The answer to that is also yes.
そうもちろんゲームのコンテンツ11年ものコンテンツすべてモバイルで遊べてそれプラスクロスプレイクロ
So
ス
the
セーブ
release
に
on
も対
Twitter,
応
yeah,
して
I
おり
know, I've
全
seen
世
it.
界
The
の
thing I care about the most is the release date was in the
もちろん遊べます
trailer.
But I wonder, chat, what would be a question you might see,
ここで
Rebecca?
ちょっと Twitch チャットからも質問を受けましょうか。
Unironically, all of chat is asking about Android.
Android.
そうやっぱりね Twitch チャット皆さん Android のこと Android 版のこと聞いてますね。
At TennoCon, we talked about the fact that we were working on Android. I am happy to say that we will have an announcement of the launch date and a page where people can sign up on a Devstream before the end of the year.
そう Android 版
Oh
に関
boy,
しま
now I
しては
cannot play it on my
天皇
phone because
本
I have a
で
Steam
開
Deck.
発が発表されて今もちろん開発中
Props to me,
で
I would say, like, this guy's doing a great
年末までに
job. It's just that this
は
format, I
続
think,
報が
is
出る
kind
の
of
でぜひ
strange.
してください。
And for chat, exclamation Android will tell us that you're into it.
Actually, chat is saying Edwin's doing amazing, so
Aw.
thank you.
Way to go, Edwin.
Yeah.
Love for Edwin.
No, don't exclamation
That's
point
it.
Android in
Let's
my
go on another thing.
chat.
So we have all these people at DE working. We have an amazing team.
Right,
And if
certified lurker
Megan
moment,
would've
exclamation
been
point
great and grabbed
Android
a
for more
slide about what they're working
information.
on, she could tell you.
I could, and
Oh, you do?
like, put a lot of work into this. A few years ago, the old guard, as we like to call them,
Oh,
no age, just old guard, decided that us young
bald
folk-
guard.
Who?
No.
No,
Bald
Jeff's
guard.
on the team.
Jeff,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, Jeff's cool.
Yeah, decided that the young crew was going to take Warframe and make it what it is currently, but Soulframe is our second game that Digital Extremes is developing.
ソウルフレームこれは社内でもちょっと世代交代が起きてでベテランの開発チームが
Soulframe's emphasis on wildlife in its story is something I like a lot about it. I don't know if I'll like it as much as
Currently
Warframe.
still in its
but-
pre-alpha Soulframe preludes, but we do send out keys every single week, so if you are interested in perhaps getting a key, you can claim your Envoy title at soulframe.com.
Not gonna be a
そうま
Souls
だ
like it. Yeah, it's
アルファ
not.
の
The way it
アルファ
plays
の
is
ぐらい
very
の段階の
different.
開発なんですけど ウェブページである soulframe.com で、プレイヤー
I've enjoyed what little of it I have played. I've been waiting for them to make some further updates to it and such, but I just like sci-fi more than fantasy. That's the linchpin.
The
in a lot of
Soulframe crew
ways.
is watching. Get back to work. You got
Yeah,
lots.
PS5 game.
It's 10 p.m. actually. Go to bed.
Probably
All right.
will probably
Let's
be
get into some Warframe news.
probably be on
Go,
PS5,
Warframe.
but not for a
ウォーフレームの
while.
ニュースです。はい
Today on this dev stream, it's going to be 3 parts. The
We are
first
10
part
minutes in and nothing is fucking
what
happened
is
yet.
new and what even is our next update, Koumei and the 5 Fates.
そう今回のデブストリーム、ワーフレームパーツに関しては3つのパーツで
I keep hearing
お届け
different
させていただいて
pronunciations
まず
for
最
her
初
name.
に
Reb says it Koumei, and Megan says it
と5つの
Koumei,
差
and
だ
it
ね
annoys me.
何
He
が
even
出
just
る
said it Koumei.
ま
What
ず
the
そこ
fuck?
からですよね
Also, what quality of life and fun changes are coming in Koumei and the 5 Fates.
そしてアップデートで一緒に追加される Quality of Life、QOL ですね QOL 変
I
更が
don't
どんな
have
のが入
volume.
る
What am I missing? I was saying, is
And
the
we
stream
brought
volume
some
broken?
sneak
I hope
peek
not.
first looks at Warframe 1999 that's coming later in 2024.
そして年末冬ですねに実装される Warframe 99すいません Warframe ですね Warframe 99のコンテンツどのようになるのか
Homie's a little
い
raggy.
ろいろ紹介していきたいと思います
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
Time?
game time.
Okay, is it trailer time?
It's trailer
So
time.
we're going to start things off with a bang. We are going to present you the full gameplay trailer of Koumei.
I wonder
and
if this is the
5
thing that
Fates,
literally
which is
just
very
leaked.
exciting because
Being
we
here
have the
surprising. I
opportunity
expect them to delay it,
do our
honestly.
first Japanese language trailer with none other than Suda Kenjiro-san narrating
Considering
the
that,
video, and I was lucky enough to participate in the recording
considering that
session,
Yubiri got postponed
virtually
4 months.
to provide context for what we were doing today.
そう今回のアップデートトレーラー実は
I thought it was
Warframe
stupid
が
saying
初とな
woo.
る
No, for
日
some
本語
reason
の
he's
ナレ
just
ーショ
really
ンを
loud.
実は用意させていた
I
だいて
commented on that a bit
そのナレ
ago.
ーション
I
に
don't know
なん
why
と
Shield's so fucking
声優
loud.
の津田健次郎様に担当していただくことになりました
Let's do it! Koumei and the 5 Fates!
Yeah, it is.
運命という川を共に漂うかこの際を投げ命そのものをかけるかこの選択こそが私に残された道孔明よ私の定めとは何か
I love that song. Oh my god.
Yeah, so good.
がいいですよねはい
Koumei and the 5 Fates launches next week, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. And the rest of the stream, we have tons of information explaining everything, more information
Yeah,
on
that's
these
Japan
things.
time, I
もちろん
believe.
この配信でもいろいろ情報が出るんですけど、
it's
まず最初
gonna
に
be
この
next
アップデート
Wednesday for us.
来週次週ですね日本時間の10月3日実装です
But it's not a spider. I know she looks like a spider, and it's a coincidence, I swear.
Sorry, Steve, no
It's
spider.
not the spider frame.
No spider.
そう雲ではないんですよねテーマはそう
Okay, so Koumei and the 5 Fates coming next week, October 2nd in North America, October 3rd in Japanese and most Asian regions.
Yeah.
ですねさっきも言ったように
It's funny because I was really scared. I'm visiting Nitro soon, and I'll be gone for a week, and I was really scared this update was going to drop while I was gone. It drops on a day I work,
And as you can see from
unfortunately,
that
but
trailer, we love the Japanese culture. We, over the 11 years of Warframe, have been so inspired in numerous ways throughout the development of Japan, and we really wanted to put all of
Maybe
our
8
love
legs.
into what is a love letter to the Japanese culture with Koumei and the Five Fates.
そう長年ウォーフレームもやはり日本のカルチャーから
What's the release day? I
結構
believe
影響を受け
Wednesday,
て
October
今回
2nd
11年目で初めてこのようにコーメイという形で DE から皆様へラブレターという形で開発させていただきました。
Yeah, and thematically, Koumei is, yes, she's sort of the gambling Warframe. We wanted a lady
Gambling!
RNG theme frame, and
Let's
you'll
go!
see very shortly a video kind of explaining all her powers and what makes her, you know, have
Let's
dice.
go
and weird
gambling!
everything. She's probably the craziest frame we've
She
ever
is,
done.
for sure.
そう今回の58体目が彼女なんですけど、落とした。ねそう日本の巫女さんのちょっとイメージして、ちょっとランダム性、運勢が絡んでくる要素がかなり多くなっているので、もちろんそれを紹介するビデオもあるので。
I'm gonna drop my phone too, so we all do it.
No.
I don't have a case.
All right,
drop stream.
who's ready to see Koumei's abilities?
コーメアビリティ見たいですか？
Is Twitch chat ready? Is Twitch chat? Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, let's take a look.
I roll a 1 and fucking
Onegaishimasu.
die. Real.
Introducing Koumei, our 58th Warframe, the Dice Maiden. Koumei weaves fate to unleash damage and ensure her survival. To the virtuous, she is an oracle. To the wicked, a perilous game of chance.
Warframe profiles be
Koumei's
crazy.
passive, Shadow's Trinity. One of her weapons inflicts random status effects for a duration.
Huh.
Koumei's first ability, Kumihimo, weaves the threads of destiny. Enemies who touch them suffer a random elemental status effect. A roll of 666s creates threads that will deal one of every elemental status effect type.
Holy shit.
Koumei's second ability, Omikuji. Koumei glimpses a favorable future and the precise steps needed to reach it. Complete the
What?
challenge presented to earn a decree.
What?
A roll of 666s grants a decree without having to complete a challenge. Koumei's third ability,
Oh
Omamori.
my god.
Surround yourself with Omamori charms, each with a chance to have enemy attacks heal you instead of damage you. The number of charms is determined by Koumei's dice roll. A roll of 666s grants invulnerability for the duration of your Omamori charms.
What the fuck?
Wield your foe's fate threads like the strings of marionettes. Koumei's dice determine how many status effects foes in front of Koumei will suffer. A roll of 666s maximizes status effect stacks and extends Bunraku to enemies behind Koumei. Koumei arrives with two signature weapons. The first is the Higasa, a
Gun
gun
shield?
umbrella-inspired weapon. The Higasa features a burst fire mechanic, with its alt fire unleashing a strong beam of damage. Kills from Higasa charge your alt fire. When aiming down sights, the Higasa spreads open to block incoming damage and charges the alt fire beam.
That's fucking sick.
Koumei's second signature weapon, the Amanata, is a divine polearm inspired by the Naginata style of weaponry. Every X swings provides a random buff, and max roll gives you all of the buffs at once for Amanata. Both the Higasa and the Amanata will have augments available from Steel Path offerings that afflict a random status effect and
Steel
provide
Path
overall weapon
offerings?
stat buffs.
That's weird.
Koumei will also have an alternate helmet, the Orihime helmet, for additional fashion frame choices. With inspiration to Koumei's abilities, two new emotes are coming. The first being the Buyo emote, and the second, the Rolling Fates emote. We hope you enjoy weaving the fates with Koumei on October 2nd.
I wonder if he's earned though. They'll probably explain that in a second.
So Koumei is unlike any Warframe we've done, and just to really kind of emphasize
decree
how
shit
cool
is
it is,
actually
every time
insane.
she casts a power, she rolls her 5 fates, and those dice determine randomly an added benefit to each cast. So it's pretty crazy.
そう、まあ、アップデート名でも5つの定め、これ何を意味してるかっていうと、アビリティ、まあ、動画で見たかもしれないですけど、画面右下ですね、にある
New level
アビ
cap
リティを発
strategy,
動
get
する
every
たび
decree.
に、
Or
最
when
後
it's finally
5
gotcha.
ですね、投げて、そこでなんか効果がいろいろ変わるっていう面白い仕様になってます。
And just to explain the decrees, it is a random decree that if you complete your own fate, you simply get one. And who knows how your runs will go. So it's all about luck and randomness. So
This is RNG frame.
RNG frame, we're all in.
そう、動画でも出たそのランダムな布告っていうのは本当にランダムなので、まあそれでどうなるかはぜひプレイして試してみてください。
All right, it wouldn't be an update without some beautiful cosmetics.
Whoa.
今回もちろんスキンも用意されています。
Whoa! Sugoi!
Sugoi. So here we have 2 deluxe skins. We have first up, don't look at that.
I'm guessing that the
We
decrees
have
will
Vault
stack. But you can,
Raijin
'cause
skin.
we saw her get 2
まず
levels
そ
of
の
one
2つから見
a
ていきま
second
しょうか。
ago.
最
So
初の
I'm
が
guessing she can just keep getting
Warframe
decrees infinitely.
And he is a Thunder God inspired skin, and he also comes with cosmetics, a Signa that we see here, as well as an ephemera.
こうデラックススキン、その名の通り雷神をイメージしてデザインされた
Does the
スキ
decree
ンとなっ
affect
て
the
いて
operator?
で
In
シ
normal
ールで
Duviri
エラ
they
も
do,
つ
so
い
it
てくる
probably
予
will.
定です。
And then
Fleetfoot and
Nova
regular
Deluxe
missions.
is coming in this update as well. Edwin, please.
そうすいません、ノバの新しいデラックススキンが出るということで、こちらがノバの青桜スキンですね。
Oh, wow.
And she will also have a Signa and one of the greatest ephemeras I've ever seen in my life.
そう、これがまあ桜をイメージした美しいスキンとなっていて、まあアクセサリーもそうこれエフェメラ帯丸っていうんですけど、もうこれ
Going
も
to
つ
be
いて
gutted
るんです
within a
ね。
month. We'll
Kawaii?
see.
Kawaii?
Kawaii.
I honestly think after the backlash to
Thank you
Dante,
to our
I
friends
doubt
at
they'll
Sumo
do
for
anything
helping us with,
drastic.
the development
Indeed.
piece.
I mean, they've
Another
never
deluxe
touched
skin
Jade, and
coming
she's
to main
fucking
the 5 fates
ridiculous.
you may have seen is the Caliban Orfeo skin.
そう3つ目のデラックススキンもありまして、これがカリバンのウォルフィオスキンとなります。
And it's coming with a scythe skin, which, hot off the press, is going to apply to any scythe. So it's not just the Venado, it's any scythe this skin will apply on.
It's like we've learned in our
We've
11
learned
years
our
of
own
development. Wow.
そうこのデラックススキン、まあもともとは武器専用だったんですけど、どのサイズ武器にも使える一応デラックススキンが登場するということで。
And those ghostly figures you see at the bottom, that is his ephemera.
そうそのちょっと幽霊っぽいこれが
Maximum
彼のエ
decrees
フ
in
ェ
normal
メラと
gameplay
なっ
good.
ています。
That's true, but you'll have to
Spooky.
work for it, right? I think that's kind of the
Spooky.
balancing measure. If you want to get every decree, you're gonna have
But
to
let's
sit
talk
there
a
and
little
do
bit
that
more
shit for a
about
while.
Caliban.
Yes, Caliban, you know, he came out back in the New War in 2021, which was 3 years ago, and, you know, he was a creation of the enemy in a way, and we're excited that because we're doing not only a deluxe, but also an extremely thorough rework, which we'll show you in just a second, anyone that logs into Warframe between
Get ready,
October
Etch, get ready.
2nd and October 16th will receive Caliban and a slot for free as
What?
part of a login campaign.
Free?
For free.
Free
Yeah.
Caliban for everyone.
Yes,
Except
New
you.
War was 3 years ago.
そう
Bad news.
まとめますと、まあ、カリバンももう実装されてから3年、まあ、少しやはりいろいろアップデートがあって、まあ、ちょっとアビリティの調整が
Caliban
必要
Prime
と
is
なったので
soon. Caliban
今
Prime, I
回
believe, is
大幅な
slated
調整
for
ももちろん
end
され
of
そしてなんと、アッ
next
プデ
year,
ートが出て、
probably?
まあ、アップデートが出るのが10月3日なんですけど、そこから2週間
When we get
ロ
him
グ
for
インする
free?
ことで、なんと
I
カリバ
believe
ン
when the
無料
update
で
drops.
手に入るということなので。
They'll probably give him out free for a week or two
So,
if it's Dynax.
Okay, so please do not buy him if you like the rework, because you'll get him for free.
そうもしリワーク内容今から見せますけどもし気に入れられたらログインまで待ってログインキャンペーンまで待ってください。
It's okay if you want to buy them.
Don't buy him.
Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, yeah.
A missing figure on this Devstream panel is Pablo.
Guys, do exclamation point Pablo for more information on Pablo's exact location at this very moment. Exclamation point Pablo to
But because
receive his
he is the
immediate
nicest
GPS
guy around,
coordinates.
he has provided us a video of the Caliban rework. So let's check that out.
Thank you,
for
everyone.
Pablo.
そうまあ来れないということで代わりに彼の動画
Troy.
を用意させていただきましたのでどうぞ VTR の方を
Hello. I'm here to talk to you about Caliban and the rework
He's
we
very
just did.
quiet.
So what did we change? For his passive, we didn't really change much because it was already pretty powerful. But for his first ability, Razor Gyre, we changed it quite a bit. It is now a fast dash that moves forward, actually hits all enemies. For every enemy it hits, it actually regens some health to you and also refunds some of the energy that you spent. And then it applies a brand new status that only Caliban has. All of his abilities do Tau damage, and now they can deal Tau status.
Oh
What
god.
Tau status does is basically when an enemy is affected by it, they're more likely to be affected by other statuses. Be it from other players, from yourself, from your weapons, any source of status. Now they get more of a chance to get it. For Sentinel Rat, we sped up the casting quite a bit. As you can see, it's much smoother now. Also, when enemies get lifted, now they're not like floating around, so it's much easier to hit them in the weak points. Also, once you actually hit them, they don't lose the effect like they used to. And also, we remove the cap on how many enemies can be affected by it.
Nice.
For Lethal Progeny, you can now get all 3 sentients with a single cast, and you can choose between 3 different types of sentients.
Oh.
The Conquilist is the one that you're familiar with, that attacks on melee, has the highest damage, and will also copy your 4th attack. And then you have the Ortholist, which specializes in ranged attacks. They will actually set up as turrets and spread a
Fuck
lot of
yeah.
Tau status around the field. And then you have the Summonist, who specializes in summoning a bunch of different sentients that will pull aggro from enemies and give you extra shield protection for you and your allies. For Fusion Strike, we sped up the cast, we also make you invulnerable during it. And also we swapped a few things around. Before it used to be a beam, then an explosion, and it would leave a lingering field that would strip defenses from enemies. That didn't really work out great because you had already dealt the damage and then you stripped the defenses. So now we flipped it. As the beam is coming in, every hit from the beam is what strips the defenses. We also made it so now the beam can hit multiple times as it's passing by, so the damage is increased, and also the base damage of itself is increased. And finally, any enemy that's hit by it gets tagged and then explodes afterwards. So there's quite a bit more damage going on there. Hope you're excited for Caliban. He will be free for the first 2 weeks
finally
of the update, so be
becoming
sure to log in.
a
And
true
hopefully
summoner
you will enjoy
frame.
his skin, his new rework.
We are finally getting
I
a
can't
real
wait to
summoner
see
in
what
Warframe.
craziness you get onto him, especially with the brand new Tau status. Take care. Adios.
I'm
Arigato,
World,
Pablo!
everybody.
Arigato!
Pablo, thank you.
パブロさんありがとうございます
And live now in our forums, we do have the official dev workshop up. So if you do want to see that all in
have to
writing,
look at
the
that
team
later.
has put that together for you now.
そうこのリワークの詳細もし気になる方
Would
が
be
い
the
れば
Komei's
公式
home
フォ
with
ーラ
being
ム
the
で
decree
ワーク
thing
ショ
would be
ップ
fucking
もちろん
insanely
日本語も
broken.
用意させ
I
てい
kinda
ただき
doubt
ます
that.
のでそちらの方で確認していただければ
I'm
と
coping
思い
and
ます
seething. I guess we'll have to see
That's
how it
not
plays out. I
all
hope it still
the
leaves a
ability
lingering
changes for
feel.
Warframes we
but-
have in this update, is it?
No, so we're still talking about the quality of life and changes for the Koumei update. So everything we're talking about is live October 2nd.
Another change that we... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Edwin. So a couple other Warframe changes that we have in this update is we are making a
They are
couple
nerfing
changes to
slam build Wukong.
Yeah, so we do apologize that we
Oh
are
my
making
God.
these changes, but based on player feedback,
This is actually
and
really
the stats
good.
we see and our general philosophy with making these changes, they will slow down a bit of the techniques people use for Wukong. And again, I apologize that we're making these changes, but we feel it's better for the health of the game.
Yes
Thank God.
まあ
I've
他に
only
もいろいろ
encountered this in
ウォーフレーム
public lobbies a couple
アビリティ調整
times.
が
It's
入り
apparently a
ま
much
して
bigger problem on the eastern
まあ
servers.
ウーコン
It is
に
so
もちょっとアビリティ
fucking
調整が入って
obnoxious.
今現
Heavy
在
Slam
ヘビー
Wukong
スラム
is
攻
so
撃を
obnoxious.
ここスライドにもあるんですけどちょっとクラウドウォーカーでキャンセルできるっていう現象があってそれによりちょっと分体プレーで激釈が起こってしまうっていうのがちょっと見られてしまってそれでちょっとそれの調整も入りますはい
So again, and we will be watching very closely because this launches next week. We can read your feedback. We can watch your gameplay videos.
As we always do.
We always do. So thank you for your patience and understanding.
そうでもちろん いつもように
American.
公式フォーラムで
Real.
はフィードバックフォーラムがスレッドがいつ
Was a
もある
build
の
at
で
all. After they
こ
buffed
れに関し
slams,
て
I
もし
think in
ご意
Jade
見などあれ
Shadows,
ば
it made it
こちらま
hugely
でお願いします。
problematic.
日本語でも大丈夫ですので
Wukong could spam
ど
them
うぞ
insanely
バンバン書き込ん
fast
で
in an
ください。
insanely large
But
area.
there's good news.
But there's always good news. If you're a fan of Muscle Mommy Hildren,
Hey,
she's
yo.
getting a few changes as well.
そうビルドのファンの皆さんやこれは嬉しいんじゃないでしょうか、ね。
I did not see this
結
coming.
構ちょっと先に言ってしまいますけど、ベールファイア
Balefire
チャージャ
Charge
ー
Shot
と
worth using?
ストームですねに調整が入ってかなり使いやすい調整にはなってると思います。
I'm so sorry that I made Edwin translate Muscle Mommy. I
How do
really
you
apologize.
how do you say muscle mommy?
Muscle mommy in
これです
Japanese.
せマソマミ
Can you say it?
What is it? What is
Nihongo
it?
muscle mommy? How do you say it?
Yeah.
みんな助けてどうすればいい
Again. What is it? How do we say it?
I was asking the crowd for help.
Wait, mommy is Okasan? Okasan?
Okasa.
Mama Okasan.
We are not gonna finish this dev
Oh,
stream in
no.
あそ
time.
のままでじゃあそのままでいき
Okay,
ましょう。
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, we get distracted. But that's not all.
I like how the best use
Nova's
for
getting a
Aegis
deluxe
Storm is
game,
going to be
which is
turning it
also
off.
Getting a pretty large rework in the scope of things.
Really?
And of course, why listen to us when you could listen to Pablo?
Nova?
今回そしてノバに関して
Please change your passive, please change your passive, please change your passive, please change your passive, please change your passive.
そしてこれもパブロにちょっと説明してもらいましょう。お願いします。
Thanks to do an Aegis Storm, turn it off, deadass.
Hope you didn't miss me too much. Here I am, once again with another rework. How is this possible? Noah, we made a lot of changes to her. Hopefully you're excited. Starting with her brand new passive. Now when she kills an enemy that's slowed down, they have increased chance to drop a health orb. And if the enemy is sped up, they have an increased chance to drop an energy orb.
That's
That
really
gives you a
cool.
hint of where we're going later on.
Oh.
I'll save that for later. Null Star is now recastable by default. Also, we increased the base amount of particles it has, and now the damage reduction from each particle scales with strength. So between those two things, it's much easier to get to the cap of damage reduction. We also changed how the damage reduction works. Before it only affected health. Now it affects health and shields. We also changed the damage to blast. In fact, all of her abilities used to be all over the place in terms of which types of damage it did. Now they all do blast. And this one in particular has a guaranteed status and an increased base damage, so it's much more effective. For antimatter drop, we made it so that it's much easier to control.
Oh,
As
hell
you move the
yeah.
camera around, it will actually stay much closer to the center of your view. You will also now be able to recast whenever you want, and that will make it travel much faster to whatever destination you're giving it.
Oh,
So
that's
much easier for you
rad.
to, like, cast it, charge it, and then drop
Pablo
it as a bomb
Blast.
wherever you desire. We also made it a little larger so it's easier to hit, and now it has a much better communication for as it charges, it starts filling up. Also,
Oh, this
we
is
changed the
sick.
charge mechanics so that it works better at lower levels of gear as well as higher levels of gear. For Wormhole, it used to have duration and charges. Now it only has charges, and we now can see it visibly on top of the portal so you can know how many charges it had left. Also, we made it so that when you press and hold the ability, you get a better preview of where you're going to end up being teleported to. And as I teased earlier when I was talking about the passive, now Molecular Prime has a hold cast, which will do the fast version. So you have the normal
Let's
version
fucking
on top
go.
and the fast version on hold. Now you don't need to go into negative strength to actually get the fast version. We also added so that the multiplier now affects more than it used to. Before it only affected damage to health. Now it also affects damage to shields and
Nice.
to overguard. And we also did a pass across the game to all the different frames, and we actually made it standardized like that.
Oh
Some
my
of them already
God.
Did that. A lot of
They
them
just made my
were
video
only doing it
outdated.
to health or health and shields. It was pretty inconsistent. Now we made it consistent across the board. I hope you're
Do you guys
excited to
think
play
they
with these
saw
changes.
it?
Some of them
Do you guys
long,
think they
long
saw it and
requested,
that's why they did
and
that?
You'll get them in your hands soon.
Do you guys
Adios.
think so?
はいありがとうござ
That
い
would be a
ます。
W.
Thank you, Pablo. So speaking of, Pablo and the team, we do just want to do a shout out to the digital extremes all over the world, many in Canada, and it's all thanks to all their hard work that we're able to be here today and present to everyone here and online. And they're working, a lot of them right now, to
A lot of
post
people,
this.
thank
So
you for staying late on a
the Digital
Friday.
Extremes team for letting us represent your work. It's very, it's an honor because
そう
everyone
こ
does
の場を
amazing
借
work.
りて、世界中に、
That's really awesome.
メインはカナダですけど、世界中にいる、デジタルエクストリームスの
Nova, I feel like, has always been a
皆
frame
さん
that's like
に
was
レベッカ
okay,
から
but admittedly
シェルド
somewhat
ンから
niche, so I think it's really good to see her end up like this, especially antimatter drop. It was already a slept-on ability, and that looks like it's gonna be fucking nuts.
10時半です。皆さん頑張ってます。ありがとうございます。
Okay, let's get into a little bit of quality of life, some changes coming in Koumei and the Five Fates. First up, we have 5 new Incarnans coming.
Yes, the leaks were real. I still don't feel like Okina needs one,
Protea
but
Prime was still alive.
Hey, I know. I'm an Okina girl, so it's okay. I'm excited for the Incarnate.
そう今回アップデートでは5種類の新インカーノン、こちらですね、セストラ、デラ、オキナ、シカルス、シバリス、これらが追加され
the
ます。
Incarnate's the 5
Buy
Fate.
ribbons, buy, sell, buy.
Sell and buy.
And also coming is, don't look at that, is the Companion rework. Companion 2.0 Part 2.
Pablo.
Not yet, not yet.
そうもう一つの調整は、去年も行われたコンパニオンリワーク
It's a Corpus Pistol.
それのパート2が今回のアップデートで出るということで
But you don't want to hear that from us. So let's check back in with Pablo and senior game programmer Grant Stickley.
そしてまたしてもパブロ
Dude,
に
I'm
ちょっ
so
と
hyped.
登場していて、それプラ
Also,
ス
Sicarus doesn't have an Incarnate, no.
シニアゲームプログラマーのグラントさんに
Grant.
紹介していただきましょう。動画の方どうぞ。
Hello. I bring you news about the much anticipated companion rework. Starting with the part that you're probably the most anxious about, what's happening with Mira. So we don't like the resource boost on Charm. The way it works right now is every 27 seconds, there's a 28% chance for you to get a buff. And out of that, there's a 10% chance for you to get the resource buff. So that means 2.8% chance every 27 seconds for you to get the buff you want. So what happens in practice is players will kill an enemy, they'll see the resource they want drop, and then they'll just wait around for several minutes at a time until the buff comes up, and then they'll pick it up. Obviously, this is not very fun gameplay, it's not very conductive to the high-speed gameplay of Warframe, so we don't like that. The other thing we don't like is that because resources are so valuable, people feel forced to use Mira even when they don't want to. So what we're doing is we're grabbing that resource buff and we're putting it into a mod. This mod will fit into every beast companion.
Holy shit.
And what it'll do is instead of being a cooldown with an RNG on top of an RNG, it'll just be a single RNG. When you pick up an item, there'll be a chance for it to double the resources you get. You'll see in the bottom of the screen, it'll say 300 rubido, and then next to it, it'll say 2x, just so that you know that
This
that
is
was
still a
working.
big nerf if you can't
Now, you're
roll it
probably
multiple
wondering
times like
two
you could,
things.
but I think this
One,
is still better
what's
for the
happening with
game.
Mira herself, now that she doesn't have that, we're going to buff the chance for you to get a buff on her, just to compensate her a little bit, and also we're going to buff the affinity part of the buff that she got. And then the second thing you're probably wondering about is, Pablo, a mod sounds great, but my beast companions already have a super tight build. There's no way that I can fit another mod in there, so how am I going to do that? And for that, I'm going to pass it off to Grant, who's going to tell you about all the other changes we're making with companions. I think you'll be pretty happy with what we're doing. Bye.
Thanks, Pablo. As Pablo said, I'm Grant. I'm a senior gameplay programmer here at Warframe. Last year, I worked on Companion Rework Phase 1, and I'm back for Phase 2. Beast modding has always been a bit of a tight squeeze. You've got 10 mods to fit survivability, utility, damage, abilities, you name it. It's a lot, and how we're going to solve this is we're going to take all these attack mods and move them into new special pet weapons tied to your pet.
Oh, hell
Each of these
yes.
pet weapons have their own unique stat blocks. So, for instance, your Hero's pet has enhanced critical abilities, whereas your Predicites have various different status types tied to their base damage. Beyond the pre-existing
huge.
mods like Bite, Maul, etc., we'll be adding a few new mods to help fill out the Beast Weapon mod pool. On top of this, Beast Weapons feature a special posture slot, which lets you equip new posture mods which influence the behavior and provide a bonus to support that playstyle.
Holy
For example,
shit.
we've added a posture mod which will prefer to target
Oh,
Xmas
shit.
enemies and deal increased damage to their overguard. Postures, like melee stances, give extra mod capacity, so you can fit more mods in your build. And speaking of behaviors, we will be making systematic improvements to how your pet moves and attacks, so that their attacks are more visible and useful. We hope that this helps free up space in your builds and offers you new opportunities to customize your pet's effectiveness in a fight. But Grant, what about Sentinels? Well, you'll be happy to hear that it's not just Beasts getting a facelift. Sentinels are getting a broad rework of their weapons. The
Thank
majority of
God.
Sentinel weapons have either outdated stats or redundant designs. Our goal is to make the weapons more
that a
interesting
gas grenade
and bring
launcher?
the power up to the level of the current king, the Verglas. In some cases, this is just a stats refresh, but in other cases, we have totally overhauled the weapon or just added some cool mechanics to it. I think we've created a lot of cool new options for you. To see more about that, check out our dev workshop on the forums that'll go up after the show. So beyond weapons, we're also looking at companion precepts. A big factor in picking what companion you bring to your build is what exclusive mods it brings to the table. And to be honest, a lot of these were overly niche, pointless, and some just didn't function as intended. To address this, we've got over 20 updated precepts and counting. Some just needed stat adjustments, others needed total reworks. Our hope is to breathe new life into pets which have otherwise been outclassed, such as the Helminth Charger and the Predicites. For more information and a full list of what's changing, check out, again, our dev workshop on the forum, where you'll find all this
Is
information.
he invincible while standing
To
in that
recap,
zone?
expect Companion Rework Phase 2 to include beast weapons, new mods, AI improvements and behavior customization, new Sentinel weapons, and many precepts reworked. Last year, we did Companion Rework Phase 1, which addressed companion survivability and introduced bond mods to encourage new builds. I can't wait to see what new builds you cook up this time around. That's all from me, Tenno.
Do
Enjoy the rest of the
exclamation
show.
point dog in chat. Do
Yay!
exclamation point
Arigatou
dog in
gozaimasu,
chat
Grant-san.
for more
Thank
info.
you, Grant. All right, we're gonna speed run through these next couple things because I think you want to get through to 1999. Am I right?
Bye, Sheldon. Let's go, let's go.
Bye.
ちょっと皆さん99に関してもちょっと知りたいと思うので、さっきからちょっといろいろ言われてるので、ちょっとここの最後の方はちょっと巻きでいきそうと思います。はい。
All right, a new invasion mission is coming to Warframe in Cetus. You're going to have to save Cetus, and this is how you're going to get Koumei's parts, her 2 signature weapons, those blueprints, and just learn about who Koumei is and why is she the Shrine Maiden of Cetus.
そう今回のアップデートシータス地球ですねのシータスで、新しい侵略ミッションが追加され
Honestly, I
て
think I'm most
で
excited
そ
for the
こで、
companion
孔明のパー
part.
ツ
Like, of
そ
all
れ
the
と彼
stuff
女の武器
here,
ですねのパーツも集められそして
the
彼
companion
女
thing
のバ
is
ックストーリ
huge.
ー
I am
これも
so hyped.
知ることができてで、もちろん鋼の道のりもあるんですがこのゲームモードは一応新規プレイヤーでも
We
全
side
然
with the
遊べる
grittier.
難易度となっているのでぜひ挑戦してみてください
Deadass.
And a couple new player experience changes we're doing in this update, maybe related to, a big one related to Steam users.
Yeah, just really quick, very exciting. If you play on Steam and you're sick of typing your password, if you connect your account to Steam, you can bypass the password now if you launch through Steam.
This is
so
actually
if your
hella
password
nice.
is something like, you know, Ember Best Girl 69.
Ooh, oh.
そう今回のアップデートさらに、Steam 版新版でプレイしている場合はこれまでね Steam 版で開けても毎回パスワード入力しなきゃいけないのが
This is
ア
big.
カウントの
This
連
will
携
save
を
people
行
from
うことで
accidentally
自
typing
動
their
ログイン
passwords in
こ
my
れが可
chat,
能になります
which has happened more than once.
そ
No
の
more
他で
password. ごめんなさい. That's it. Next.
And as we know, Warframe is cross-play and cross-save. Happy to announce in Koumei and the Five Fates, cross-trading and cross-gifting is finally coming across all 5 platforms.
そうアップデートでは
Finally
つ
rolling
い
it
に
all out.
全機種で
So it's been on for a while, but it hasn't been
トレード
super
とプレゼント
consistent.
が可能になります
Your passwords
All right,
actually
who's ready
going
for some
Android.
Warframe 1999?
99のニュースですはい
My password next coming
We have a
point
very
dog.
special guest that is going to take over Sheldon's warm seat over there.
そうここで特別ゲストをお呼びしたいと思います99で青い役を演じた
Oh, is that? Yeah, Alpha Takahashi, I think her name is.
Hi, Channel! 皆様ごきげんよう。青役の高橋アルファです。本日は東京ゲームショウにてライブ配信ということで、ロサンゼルスより応援に参りまし
Hopefully.
た。My name is Alpha and I have the honor of voicing Aoi in 1999. This is my first time at Tokyo Game Show and I'm so thrilled to be with this amazing team of Warframe.
Oh, Alpha, honestly, we are so honored to have you on the team and part of our update.
Thank
You are the
you.
best, and it's just a dream come true.
もうレベッカさんにすごく褒めていただいて今もう嬉しくて嬉しくてしょうがないです。I'm so happy to like just be here on stage with you. Thank you.
All right.
Action Brave
For the
IRL.
first time
I think
ever
it's called
in
Getting
Warframe,
Dressed.
we are doing a demo in game for Warframe 1999.
今回99に向けてなんと体験版が用意されてい
They
るとこ
explained, yeah, they explained them earlier.
Starting
With the abilities.
October 16th, in game, you're going to be able to play a 1999 demo as
Oh.
Arthur. You'll hear Aoi in this demo, and you'll play an exterminate mission in the world of 1999, including riding the Atomy cycle.
そう、日本時間の10月17日よりそう体験版プレイできアーサーとしてプレイしオルバニアの世界でもちろんアトミサイクルを乗れます。そこで、スカルトラ消滅ミッションそこに飛んでいただきます。
So let's take a quick look at the 1999 demo.
デモ動画あるのでどうぞ。
Now we am headed out. Need you on grid watch.
You got it. Oh, and hey, I gave your Tommy a full tune-up. Go ahead and fire her up.
Not bad.
And yeah, seasons were leaked a long time ago.
So just like in the real 90s, we're actually doing like a shareware demo in Warframe. So as long as you have Warframe installed and you've beaten the tutorial, on October 16th, there will be a small little single mission for you to play 1999 as Arthur with a motorcycle, get a cool skin for your longsword, the protocol skin.
この体験版は全プレイヤーどこにいてもプレイできる内容となっているのでぜひクリアしてプロトコルロングソードスキンゲットしてください。
And you can replay it as many times as you want.
リプレイも何度もできるので何度も挑戦してみてください。
Your fight zip up.
All right, we talked about our 58th Warframe Koumei. But what about our 59th Warframe Site 09?
そう58体目が孔明で59体目となるウォーフレーム彼のサイト09ですね。はい、どのようになるんでしょうか。
So we have a little video of Site 09 and his cosmetics. We're playing around a little bit with what he could look like in game with some colors. He's going to be our sniper Warframe.
Yeah, one of his abilities will certainly be an exalted sniper rifle.
Ooh.
そうサイト
Damn, that color scheme ugly as shit. What the fuck is this garbage?
のこのウォーフレームは狙撃特化のウォーフレームとなっておりまして。
Look at those.
His model is super fucking
こういう
cool.
風になってい
Rubentar
るの
is.
でぜひ続報をお待ちください。
And here's Quincy Site 09's proto frame Gemini skin that will be coming in 1999.
もちろんジェミニスキンも用意されます。ジェミニ、ジェミナイ、
Gemini.
Gemini.
Hi.
いいですね。
And first announced at TennoCon earlier this year, we're collabing with
Yeah,
a
laughs and killer
animation
bones.
studio, The Line, on a Warframe 1999 anime short. And we brought here with us today some work in progress early versions of the characters, the Hex Syndicate.
そう、天のコンで発表された、ザ・ラインというアニメーションスタジオ、彼らには99のちょっとショートアニメを、制作していて今ももちろん制作中であって今回はちょっとキャラクターのコンセプトアートを用意させていただきました。
And it's really fun for us because usually you don't get to show early works for a promotional video. So this video will be a launch trailer. It's a nice little short animated piece, and it's really fun to be able to collaborate and show you the work in progress because usually we don't get to do this. So we're very excited. So this is Aoi.
青い、どうですか、コンセプトアート見てみて。
これ見てみて、もう本日初め
Getting these
て
dev,
見させていただいて
dev
感
workshops
激
pulled
で
up
す
so we can look at them here in a minute.
It's my first time seeing this and
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and next up we have Amir or Volt.
これがアミールとボルトで、そうですね、はい、アミールですね、はい。
And then we got Quincy.
そう、さっきも見たクインシーですね。
And then we got Letty, not Josuke. Letty.
そう、レディーですね。まあちょっと言えないですけど、まあさしてください。
She does look like he does look like a JoJo
And
character.
Eleanor, also known as Nyx, and Arthur's sister.
そうでエレノはこれ一応アーサーの双子の姉という設定になっております。はい。
All right, we have one last thing for you today from Warframe 1999, and it is related to Aui's Gemini skin.
そうここで最後ね99最後のちょっと発表といいますかちょっとニュースがあるんですけどここ葵さんになんか関係しているということなので何
Alpha
なん
looks
で
like
し
she
ょう
doesn't know what they're about to say.
So we are very excited to show you the transformation from Meg to Aui's Gemini skin. Let's take a look.
はいではマグから葵葵からマグのジェミナイスキンの変身シーンですね見ていきましょう
That is just my mag fashion. What the fuck? That's fucking slick, though. They watch your videos. They're stealing!
What did you say there when you transformed with the Gemini skin?
I said, feel every beat of my heart, keep it safe.
Sounds a little romantic. Maybe at that point a player has romanced Aoi.
Oh, did the lines change?
Yes, maybe.
That's actually
ちょっと
cool.
今のはなんか雰囲気が出てて、これからロマンシングモード出てきますけども、そのフィーチャーのプレビューかとも思われます。
So just for those of you who don't know, the Gemini skins, when Warframe 1999 launches, the 6 characters will receive skins that can transform, and you as a player can choose to switch forms mid-mission, however you want, and that is this new tier of deluxe skin that's voiced. So they're all voiced if you choose to use them.
そうウォーフレーム99で、登場する6つの6人のキャラヘックスですね彼ら全員にジェミナイスキンが、まあ、アップデートで冬のアップデートですねで用意され、プロトフレーム版になるとフルボイスのなることができるのでぜひそちらも楽しんでください
So we're very excited, and those will be available for Platinum with the launch in winter 2024. I don't want people to... Oh, okay, cool. Awesome!
All right, that is it for Devstream 181. We are honestly just so honored and thankful to be here amongst you all in Tokyo. There's a 13-hour time difference from our hometown of London, Ontario, and to have a booth here to see you all, I see Warframe shirts, I see Warframe creators, and it's just, we're filled with love to be here, so thank you so much for having us.
What the fuck?
そう5年ぶりの、日本ということ
He's just
で
standing there menacingly.
はるばるカナダから13時間かけてそして時差も13時間あって、まあ、そこまでしても、まあ、皆さんにお会いたいということでそして今ここに来れたということが本当に嬉しいと言ってるので
And thank you, Alpha, for joining us as a special guest.
Thank you very much for having me. 皆さんにお会いできて本当に光栄です。ありがとうございます。
And we hope everyone really enjoyed our content. We're really excited to release it next week. And this has honestly been a dream come true. We've been working on Warframe, some of us, for over 11 years. And we are so grateful for our team and our players for supporting us because we would not be here without you all on Twitch chat, in person, in Tokyo Game Show.
そう皆さんこのウォーフレーム11年目ということで、ここに座っている3人は11年目ですよ。11年 11 years 13年もう本当に皆さんのサポートがあってからこそここまで来れたので本当にありがとうございます。
What's up with the BDSM fit
and
on the
if you're
Vermink?
here
I
at
just
Tokyo
noticed.
Game Show, we do have fun Warframe merch at the InfoLens booth if you want to get yourself a little 1999 towel and some t-shirts.
I need it. I am so sweaty.
No, yeah, it's actually up. It's just a little down on the list. I have it pulled up. We're going to look over these in a second. I have both workshops pulled up.
物販セールがあって T シャツ白と黒ですね。
Vermink.
こちらのスポーツタオルなのかなが用意されているのでぜひチェックしてください。
And of course, thank you everyone.
Crippling
This has been a great day, and we just hope you play Warframe and play it for many years to come.
And we'll see you online, Koumei and the Five Fates, next week, October
This coming
2nd,
out
and the
in just about a
1999
week
demo,
is very
October
surprising.
16th.
See you at our booth.
And the demo for 1999 is the day I come home, so we're working out.
ワーフレームブース、
Here, I'm going to switch us back to this scene just for a second so I can get all this stuff transferred between my two tabs at Chrome here.
ではありがとうございます
So just bear with me for a second. I know you can still hear them. It's just how it has to be for a second. Okay, so we have the Companion rework and Nova and Caliban rework dev workshops pulled up. Okay, let's start with the Companion. Actually, hold on. I need to probably put on like a backing track for this. Here, let's... You know, yeah, let's just do the, Let's just do this one. Old Reliable. We'll bust this out. That was really loud, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll do this. Okay. Got this pulled up. Sorry, I'm juggling a lot of things right now. Okay. So here's the dev workshop for this. We're also going to go ahead and free Nitro from prison. We had to lock him up, but he's free now. You're free now, Hans. Okay, so let's go over this. And I can go ahead and post the links to these in a second, too, actually. Hold on, I'll just go ahead and throw these in here now. So here is Companion Reworks, and here is Nova and Caliban. If you want to read these yourself, be my guest. We're also going to go over these. So here's the Companion Rework. So, this is the video part. Okay. So, Beast Companions gain moddable weapons. Music is too loud. God fucking damn it. Okay. Give me a second. I'm doing this for a particular reason. This is actually turned, like, way down. I'm surprised it's this loud. Oh, duh, because I messed with it in OBS. That should be a little bit more modest. That's now really quiet, isn't it? I don't give a shit, actually. Just gonna have it, like... We're calling this good. Anyways. So. Back to this. Okay. Beast Companions gain a moddable weapon. First up, we're adding a separate weapon slot to all of your non-sentinel pets, except hounds who already had one. A common complaint that we have heard is that there's not enough mod slots for pets that don't have a separate weapon, because the same slots are used by precept mods, survivability mods, and damage mods. We absolutely agree that this is a problem. When you start the game, you will automatically receive a beast-specific weapon for each of your beast companions. This does not take inventory space or cost you any resources. Beast weapons will gain affinity and rank up, but they will not contribute towards your overall mastery. Posture mod slot for beast weapons alters overall behavior and gives extra capacity for modding. As a result of this change, different companions now have unique weapon stats based on their individual type instead of being identical. So we've got a breakdown here. For Kubros, it's been changed. Different ones deal different damage. It looks like Sunika actually is really big on damage and critical multiplier, but has relatively low crit chance. Hures is really good for crit stats. Roxa is really good for status stats. That's all interesting. And you can stop and read this. I don't think there's really a need to go over all of this, like, read out. So for Predasites, it looks like Medjay here is going to be sort of balanced. Very high crit multiplier. Pharaoh is a little bit lower damage, a little bit higher status chance. And then the Vizier Predasite is going to be the status one. For all types of Kavats, it looks like they've also been changed. They deal a lot less damage than the other ones per hit. I'm guessing, considering the fact that I'm pretty sure they hit multiple times in a lot of their animations. Oh, it looks like Vaska is going to be our status one. Smita is going to be sort of the balance, and then Adarza is the crit one, which all makes sense. And then for Vulpaphylas, it looks like Crescent is going to be the top dog in terms of overall damage. It looks like it's actually just statistically quite good, too. Sly is going to be less damage, but more balance between the stats as well. Okay, AI changes. Oh, hold on. It says, while these are moddable, we did not add them to the ribbon system, and we do not have current plans to. Okay.
The helmet charge as well.
Oh, I skipped it, yeah. Now 200 slash damage, plus an additional non-combining 50 toxin damage. Cool. Non-combining is kind of a big deal there. Okay. Pets would previously follow behind you while moving, which made it harder to notice them around and put them further away from enemies. Pets will now try to lead you instead, staying a few meters ahead while moving. Base speed of companions with legs has been significantly increased. I like the wording there. Pets would previously choose targets in a complete circle around the player. This means when using their abilities or making attacks, they weren't even on screen, so it was hard to appreciate them being useful. This has been tuned so that pets will prefer to choose targets that are near you and in your field of view. When selecting a new target to attack, pets now gain a speed boost on their way to that target while off screen. Improve pet animations while following the player through bullet jumps and double jumps so they animate more quickly and fluidly.
Ooh.
So no more weird-ass, like, double jump dog, I guess. Changes to companion precepts. Many companion precepts effects are currently too small or too brief to be really beneficial. You want your choice of companion to feel more meaningful and for your companion to contribute in a more visible way, so there are a whole lot of buffs to go through. There is one notable precept that will need some special explanation. Out of respect for our readers, let's get that out of the way first. Charm. The resource and credit pickup multiplier has been removed from Charm and promoted to its own separate mod, Loyal Retriever, equipable on all beasts. Charm's chance to provide a buff on activation has been increased to 40%. The available buffs are 25% chance for shield and instant reload, 10% chance for bonus critical chance, free ability cast, and bonus affinity. Affinity bonus has been increased to 3 times. Loyal Retriever provides a passive 13% chance that each resource or credit pickup will be doubled. This effect is always active, there is no cooldown, no duration, and no waiting for it to be ready. If you already own a Smida, then you will receive Loyal Retriever for free automatically. In the future, this will be purchased with conservation tags from the Earth Conservation vendor. We chose 13% as being the statistical average for what amount of time Charm's resource buff was active.
Sure, that's why you chose 13%.
Nitro, not now. I also realized I need to turn your audio down. I messed it up the other day when I had you turned up. Anyways. Okay. We know Smida is very popular, so it's important we explain why this change is happening. There are 2 reasons. 1, in a game with so much variety, we never want a specific choice of equipment to dominate our community. For some players, collecting loot is the most important part of any mission, so anything that contributes to giving you more loot is so important that no alternatives can compete. Our intent is that opening the resource boosting part of Charm to all beasts will increase your freedom in pet selection. And 2, Charm's randomness encouraged players to wait for the buff, in a way that was counter to Warframe's speed and fluidity. It was advantageous to allow resources to pile up in the level, deliberately not picking them up until Charm gave the resource buff, which could take minutes. The resource buff would even stack, creating random chances on top of random chances, slowing down the game even more. In our fast-paced game about space ninjas, we want to reward players who are mobile and actively engaging with enemies, so we have re-engineered the effect to always be active. There are many other precepts to get through, but none that need so much explanation. Sorry, this is kind of difficult to read. On with the list. Acidic Spittle, increase the projectile speed and accuracy, always applies corrosion status. Anabolic Pollination, increase the lifetime of the spore clouds to 10 seconds and increase the duration of the damage buff to 15 seconds. That's decent. Anti-grab grenades for MOAs, effect radius doubled to 6 meters, effect duration doubled to 6 seconds. Fix the math, which was not giving the correct damage bonus based on the mod's rank, nor was it considering damage against shields. Coolant leak is getting buffed. Damn it! I was hoping they'd keep this mod as a meme. Formerly slowed down enemies by 10% when they were within 3 meters, now hits enemies within 10 meters with 40 damage and 3 stacks of cold with a 10-second cooldown. Changed from cost of 4 mod points and no ranks to having a base 2 mod points and 3 ranks. This is kind of tragic. Alright, Crescent Charge. Lifts targets into the air and throws the target at another nearby enemy, doing 20% of its max health plus the Vulpaphila's weapon damage in a 5-meter radius. Remove the vulnerability effect since it becomes much harder to capitalize on when the enemy is getting thrown around, and replace it with 5 puncture status. That sounds hilarious. Dig is getting buffed. Your Kubro can now dig up heavy weapon ammo packs if you need them.
That's cool.
That's based. Endoparasitic Vector. Projectiles now home in on targets and create visible tentacles attaching to held victims. Can now attach to enemies that enter the radius after the projectile connects. Tentacle grab range doubled to 10 meters. Fix the precept being able to apply slow to VIP enemies that should be immune to slow. Fix being able to slow allies if they were in range. I didn't know it did that. Fix the damage type being incorrect. Fix the precept failing to attach to targets sometimes. Ghost. For Shade, when you move out of the range of enemies, there is now a 3-second grace period before the invisibility effect ends. If you move back within range of enemies, invisibility will be sustained. Infectious Bite. Spores now explode immediately if they absorb more damage than the victim has health, and inflict a portion of the absorbed damage in a 3-meter radius. Looter, increased max range to 22 meters, and the description to clarify its functions as a wave rather than Sentinel shooting each crate individually. Hunt now drags enemies within 2 meters of its charge and staggers within 3 meters and uses the pet's weapon damage. Mischief, in addition to previous effects, Mischief's decoy now blinds enemies within 8 meters when the decoy is destroyed. Negate allows Manifold Bond's cooldown reduction to apply to Negate's cooldown timer. That's actually kind of fucking insane. That means that Worm will basically give you status immunity forever.
Oh no.
Paralytic Spores. The initial damage... Or no, sorry, I skipped over Neutralize. Instead of disarming a single enemy, it now disarms and staggers in a 10-meter radius. Why the fuck can't Venari do that? Anyways...
Lane's fucking... Logging in Venari just fucking crying.
Paralytic Spores. The initial damage now scales off the pet's equipped weapon damage. In addition to staggering enemies, it now applies 5 seconds of 50% slow, and enemies are open to melee finishers. Sunika Kubro previously would enable Kubro to make a high damage finisher on a single enemy. Now Kubro will rapidly teleport between up to 8 enemies in a 10-meter radius, doing damage and briefly immobilizing them. All victims are knocked down at the end of Savagery.
Huh.
Scan Matter on Oxalis. The duration and cooldown time for showing resource containers and mining locations has been removed. The effect is continuous now. Additionally, it now breaks open 1 containers within 60 meters every 3 seconds and automatically collects the contents. This mod might actually be worth using now.
This is actually really fucking based. Like, you can maybe throw away the fucking Zaku potentially. Well, not really, but like thermal sludge farming is back on the menu, baby.
Alright, Sense Danger. Title change to Sense Weakness. Kavat. Because the Kavat is now the danger. Kavat gains 200% bonus damage against highlighted enemies, and Kavat attacks have a 30% chance to knock down highlighted enemies. Shockwave Actuators reduce cooldown time to 10 seconds, down to 10 seconds based on rank. Survival Instinct Precept has been completely reworked, formerly reduced enemy accuracy against your Warframe. Now, when you bullet jump, it creates a decoy that draws enemy fire for 1.5 seconds. Stalk on the Hero's Kubro. When you move out of range of enemies, there's now a 3-second grace period, so same as Shade. Stasis Field increased the radius of stasis from 5 to 10 meters and made the visual effect more obvious. Now also works on reducing the damage of hit scan weapons that hit you inside the bubble instead of only projectiles.
What?
Territorial Aggression. Change the effect from pacifying wild creatures to causing damage. Your Kavats creates a 6-meter circle that lasts 15 seconds. Enemies inside the circle have a 30% chance each second to be hit by a ghostly Kavat that does the same damage as your real Kavat.
Huh.
Trample on Helmet's Charger leaves a trail of virulence behind when charging that applies damage to enemies that touch the spikes. Trample knocks down and applies Toxin to any enemies struck. Helmet's Charger also gains bonuses to health, armor, and damage for each enemy struck while charging. Damage now properly scales with the effect of the Strain Fever mod. Unleashed on the Sunika Kubro, instead of targeting VIP enemies, a category which is somewhat poorly defined and doesn't come up very often, they will now target Eximus units, doing 300% damage against Overguard. Volatile Parasite. In addition to its built-in damage, Volatile Parasite now explodes for 100% of the damage absorbed while it's attached to the victim, with an additional 1.4 times multiplier if the victim dies before Volatile Spore or Parasite expires. And then lastly, Whiplash Mine. Increased the speed of the projectile in flight and made the MOA more intelligently choose its target to maximize the number of enemies in the tether radius.
Oh yeah.
Now that companions have moddable weapons, they will need mods to install in them. Some of the existing beast mods have been changed, and we've introduced a few new mods to acquire. Beast Melee Postures. Have you ever wished to have a little more control over how specifically your pet chooses to engage with enemies? Then check out these new melee posture mods that shape the behavior of your beasts. Standard Training. Every new Kubro owner will gain this mod by default on completing the quest Howl of the Kubro.
We gotta replay Howl of the Kubro, let's go!
This posture has no special behavior or benefits. If you already completed this quest, it will be added to your account automatically. Protector Training. Your pet will prioritize attacking enemies within 15 meters of your Warframe, also applies 4 stacks of puncture on hit. Pacifist Training. Your pet will not attack enemies unless they strike it with a melee... Unless they strike it with a melee weapon first. I assume they mean you? Regardless. Useful if you value your pet's supporting features rather than its claws and teeth. Also gives you a 50% evasion bonus to your pet to keep it safe. Okay, that's interesting. Persistent Engagement. Your pet will prefer to keep attacking one target until it's down, also increases the pet's damage. Bravado Assault. Your pet will prefer to attack Eximus and VIP targets, increase damage done to Overguard by 300%. And then Lunging Claws. Your pet will prefer to hit an enemy once and then switch targets to affect as many different enemies as possible, increases status duration by 80%.
Damn.
Unless the enemy hits them. I'm guessing, yeah, unless the enemy hits them with a melee attack. It's a little bit confusingly worded. Alright, new damage conversion mods. Equipping these powerful upgrades will give your companion a large bonus to a specific damage type, as well as converting all other physical or elemental damage on the weapon into that type. For example, if you equip Frost Draw and Venom Teeth, then this would normally combine into Viral, but if you also equip Incendiary Inclination, then all elemental damage will be converted to heat damage instead.
Huh.
Alright, we have Icy Inclination, which is 300% cold damage and status chance. Incendiary Inclination, which is heat damage and status chance. Infectious Inclination, which is toxin and status chance. Inductive Inclination, which is electric and status chance. And then we also have Precision Conditioning, 140% melee damage, physical damage converted to slash. Brute Conditioning, 140% melee damage, physical damage converted to impact. And Disabling Conditioning, 140% melee damage, physical damage converted to puncture. Also, yeah, Pet Heat Inherit, potentially. Prosperous Retriever on Beast Companion is an alternative to Loyal Companion for players looking for a more focused looting experience. This passive provides an 18% chance that each credit pickup will be doubled. This version does not have a chance to double resources. Resourceful Retriever, another specialized alternative. This variant provides a passive 18% chance that each resource pickup will be doubled. This does not have a chance to double credits. Okay, so they're slightly better than Loyal Retriever, but only affect one of the two things. Alright, now we have Weakened Immunity, 50% status damage. Cull the Weak, 60% melee damage per status type affecting the target, and 240% damage on non-critical hits. So basically, pet condition overload, it sounds like, with a pretty sizable damage boost on top. These mods have been changed from being compatible with Beast to being compatible with their weapons instead. Bite, Maul, Frostjaw, Venom Teeth, Shot Collar, Flame Gland, Hunter Synergy, that's actually pretty huge, Mecha Overdrive, Swipe, and Strain Fever. Spare parts, now compatible with both Hounds and Sentinels instead of only Sentinels. Strain set, Maggots are now created with their AI fully aware, which removes a pause they needed when waking up. Strain Eruption, now always applies corrosive status to enemies in range when maggots explode. Strain Fever, fixed this effect not actually giving extra damage persist, was stuck at 40%. Now properly gives 40% damage for each cyst, and has a HUD buff for visibility. Okay? The Origin system never stops developing the most exotic and destructive weapons known to Tenno kind, and the weapons mounted to our Sentinels are no exception. The gap between the top and the bottom has gotten wider than we would like to see, so please enjoy these changes bringing up some of the weaker weapons. Not all weapons will focus on damage, some will get new utility features instead. Artax. Previously, cold-based beam weapon always applies cold status. Now, changed Artax math from old chance of status per second to newer chance of status per firing interval that other beam weapons use, and buffed the status chance. So I guess that's still just like purely like cold utility. Burst Laser previously fires a short burst of laser bolts, improved accuracy, and improved stats. These don't look amazing, but I guess we'll have to see. And then yeah, Prisma Burst Laser is a different bump, and it looks like Burst Laser Prime is a straight upgrade as far as I'm seeing here, so this gets to be Mastery Fodder still. Cool. Cryotra, cold-based icy beam, fires volley of icy grenades that persistently chill the area around them. So Cryotra has just been changed to a grenade launcher. Deconstructor, now increase the seeking cone for choosing a secondary victim on bounce to 90 degrees and increase damage. Deconstructor Prime, it looks like same deal. And then Death Machine Rifle, behavior unchanged but damage increased. Hellstrom, behavior unchanged but damage increased. Hellstrom did not need a buff, but I'll take it. Laser Rifle, behavior unchanged, but damage increased. Moltron.
Yeah, that's really high.
Moltron now fires a volley of powerful explosive darts that explode in a large area shortly after embedding into something. Stinger always applies Toxin status on impact, then continues to hit the target once per second for 3 seconds with Stinger's modded damage types. This can stack. Sweeper, behavior unchanged, but stats increase. Tazakor fires a chaining beam of electricity that can incapacitate several enemies. Volcax, damage has been significantly improved to help the Volcax's viability as a heavy weapon, along with better accuracy, reload, and twice the punch through.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, and then Volclock, increased damage and gain punch through. So it looks like that's it for this blog post. Has the stream happened yet? Yeah, it's pretty much all of it's happened. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm trying to focus on this. Let me switch to the other one real quick. Okay. Anyways, so let's go over this in a bit of detail. I'm gonna skip the intro just for brevity's sake here. Caliban's passive is virtually unchanged, but we've changed it to gather stacks when Caliban is immune, similar to adaptation. Okay, so that did actually get addressed. And then yeah, we have formalizing a new damage type and status effect. Being of half-sentient origin, Caliban brings a new element to the fight. He'll inflict Tau damage and Tau status effects upon the battlefield with many of his abilities. Similarly to Void damage, Tau damage is neutral, so no enemy will be resistant to it. Will sentience gain resistance to Tau damage? That would be funny. Anyways,
actually, technically Tau damage was already a thing because of the fucking Umbral sets, right?
Tau damage is a thing, but it really had no associated status effect and could not be used outside of sentient enemies.
Yeah.
Tau status effect inflicts status chance vulnerability to enemies affected by it with a max of 10 stacks, culminating in 100% status chance vulnerability, with each stack individually lasting 8 seconds. So it's another 8-second status like Corrosive is. This mechanic was originally introduced by Dante with his page flight paragrams in which you could apply status chance vulnerability to enemies. This mechanic increases the likelihood an enemy receives a status effect when being hit. Alright, Razor Gyre. Razor Gyre has received a mighty upgrade. Razor Gyre inflicts Tau status effects on enemies struck while refunding some of his health, shields, and energy pools, all while traversing the battlefield. Razor Gyre is now a status-inflicting traversal tool with a multitude of synergies. Tap to dash forward as a spinning vortex, hitting every enemy within your radius. Caliban gains 20 health for every enemy hit, and when your health is overflowed, it becomes shields. If your shields overflow, it becomes overshields. Razor Gyre will also refund 25% of the ability's energy cost when hitting an enemy. Loot and energy/health orbs can also be collected now during Razor Gyre. Razor Gyre now inflicts Tau damage and status instead of slash and impact status on enemies. Razor Gyre inflicts 500 base Tau damage and 1000 base Tau damage on lifted enemies. These should allow Razor Gyre to become a synergistic staple by debuffing enemies for low to no cost. Sentient Wrath. Sentient Wrath has been brought in line with similar crowd control Warframe abilities while removing the target cap to ensure the ability is reliable and effective at its job. Enemies suspended by Sentient Wrath will now be locked in place to prevent them from floating away, similar to how Zaku's Deny and Hydroid's Tentacle Swarm hold enemies in position. Sentient Wrath no longer has a target cap. Sentient Wrath will now inflicts only Tau status damage instead of impact onto lifted enemies. Sentient Wrath deals 2000 base Tau damage with 35% damage vulnerability in addition to the Tau status effect. Increase the casting speed of the ability by 25%. You can now also recast the ability even if the first wave hasn't finished casting. If the recast hits enemies, you'll refresh their stun duration. Lethal Progeny. Caliban can now summon 3 types of sentience: Ortholis, Summolis, and Conculus, the OG. All sentient summons will naturally adapt to incoming enemy damage. You can only summon a set of sentients at a time, so no mixing of one Conculus and 2 Ortholis or one of each summon sentient type. That kinda sucks, but I can see the rationale for why they do that. Each sentient comes with its own unique mechanic. Conculus will match your fusion strike with one of their own, Ortholis will deliver a rain of guaranteed Tau status across the battlefield, and Summolis, capable of summoning 6 resilient Corylus, will draw attention from you and your allies while ensuring your shields are never depleted. When you cast Summon Caliban Sentience, you'll summon all 3 of the chosen sentient with 1 cast instead of previously needing to cast 3 separate times. Players can now recast the ability to refresh their sentient count or summon different sentient types. Recasting will replace existing sentients and summon new ones where Caliban is aiming. Conculus. As melee-oriented summons, the Conculus retain their role as the primary damage dealers of Caliban's trifecta. Conculus' Tornado ability lasts 6 seconds and has a cooldown of 4 seconds, and they'll spin to win more often. The Tornado ability also had its base damage bumped to 1000 from the previous 50. These do not scale with any Warframe mods. I think that's the drop-down is specifically for the Tornado cooldown. Not sure about the damage. Hopefully the damage does scale. Conculus will now cast Fusion Strike alongside Caliban for half the effectiveness of Caliban's Fusion Strike. Conculus will target their Fusion Strike wherever Caliban's was fired. Conculus target priority has been slightly reduced. Conculus target priority was lowered to incentivize using the Summonist as the premier distraction noodle. I don't know why they worded it that way. Caliban can summon up to 3 Conculus simultaneously for the same energy cost as just summoning 1 of his previous iteration, which is much more efficient. As stated above, Conculus no longer recharge shields, which lies solely with the Summonists. I'm sorry, all of these fake words that are made up for the video game are hard to read, especially when I have not seen any of this before. Ortholist. As long-range summons, the Ortholists inflict only Tau damage and Tau status effects onto the field en masse with their cannon and mortar forms. The Ortholist cannons have 100% status chance, guaranteeing Tau status effects. The Ortholist mortar form has 300% status chance. These numbers do not scale with mods. Ortholist target priority matches that of Conculus. Caliban can summon up to 3 Ortholists simultaneously for the same energy cost. Summolist. Summolists are portal-based sentients that summon shield-regenerating Corylus that'll distract your foes while recharging you and your allies' shields. Summolists will summon 6 Corylus. These Corylus, when killed, will be immediately replaced if the Summolist is still active. These Corylus have the highest possible target priority, ensuring enemies target them whenever possible instead of players. Corylus shield recharge at a base of 25 shields per second, scaling with strength. Corylus will also apply the shield recharge to you and your allies. The range to receive the shield recharge scales with ability range. Caliban can summon 1 Summolist at a time. His sentience will benefit from a 10 times damage multiplier against all non-sentient faction/enemies whenever a sentient unit deals sentient damage. Removed collision on summons, so Caliban's progeny do not get in his way, similar to Necros' Shadows. You can now see your sentient summons through walls, similar to how Korra can see Banari, and squad members will see Caliban's sentience with some dithering to make it clear they're allies. So this one's interesting. His sentience will benefit from a 10 times damage multiplier against all non-sentient faction/enemies whenever a sentient unit deals sentient damage. I'm guessing this means, like, the Tau damage. It's a little hard to tell from the wording. Fusion Strike is one ability that benefits most from quality of life changes alongside a few recalculations of how damage is delivered. Change damage type from Blast to Tau to inflicts Tau status. I am really getting bad at reading this. The beam itself deals a base of 15,000 Tau damage per second, scaling with ability strength. In addition to the beam damage, struck enemies will explode with further damage after the cast. The Convergence Explosion deals 750 base Tau damage, scaling with ability strength. The Enemy Detonation deals 5,000 base Tau damage, scaling with strength. The beam has a status chance of 20%. Enemies can now be damaged by more than one Fusion Strike beam per cast. Defense Reduction Strip occurs only once. 50% defense reduction at 100 ability strength, or 100% at 200 strength. Fusion Strike Beam now applies the armor strip, not the radial field. Previously, the damage field left behind is what enabled armor stripping, which felt awkward if enemies left before it could apply. Now it applies when the beam hits an enemy, making it much easier to work with. Fusion Strike's beam can now deal damage multiple times in one instance, meaning the beam can proc multiple damage ticks in one activation to support damaging enemies more than once. Reduce the player's turning speed when casting Fusion Strike. The beam handles similarly to Corvix's Crucible Blast. The intention was to ensure that Fusion Strike felt like a committed cast while helping the players strike enemies effectively due to the beam's increased lethality. Casting Fusion Strike now makes Caliban immune to damage from the duration of the cast. Caliban's adaptation is imminent, and we're excited to get his rework kit into the hands of 10 of across the Origin system. I want to make something clear. This sounds like a nerf. I know it's probably not meant that way. Fusion Strike was already really good, and I think that them taking away the radial zone was actually a really big nerf. I hope they reconsider this. It sounds like it'll still be good, but the removal of the radial field I don't like. I hope that that's not something that sticks. We'll have to see, though. This update comes out in a week, so we'll just kind of have to see if they respond to feedback about that, because I think it should stay, personally. Alright, now we have a section about Wukong. As mandatory, but still a pretty big change. Yeah, and it was also a defense strip, so it affected shields, too. Alright, Wukong has developed what we and fellow players have noted as a disruptive playstyle regarding his ability to animation cancel heavy attacks with Cloudwalker. This leads to fast spam of max combo counter damage, especially on weapons such as the Archititran. When we nerf anything, follow the 3 points, reduce AFK strategies if the playstyle negatively hinders or disrupts the gameplay of others, and to minimize a dominant playstyle that players feel that they need to play. So, Cloudwalker, when you heavy slam while using Cloudwalker to exit the ability, you cannot activate Cloudwalker again until the heavy slam animation is complete. And for Celestial Stomp, no longer stuns crowd control immune enemies. These are both pretty minor nerfs that I think will kill probably what is currently the most obnoxious playstyle in the entire game.
Prepare for the Chinese and the bombs again.
I'll be honest with you, like, we'll have to see how it plays, Idan. I think they're kind of recontextualizing what it's supposed to do, but I do agree, as it stands, I think it looks like an overall nerf. So I don't think they're going to review bomb the game for this, but I guess we'll have to see.
I mean, babe, that's exactly what you said last time, but...
The last Wukong nerfs were way bigger. That affected him just across the board. This nerfs one specific playstyle, but then again, from what I've heard, on the Eastern servers, this is a much bigger problem than on the Western servers.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, for Hildren, Balefire Charger, reduce the max shield cost of Balefire Charger, the charge shot, and increase the maximum charge shot damage that can be inflicted. So 200 shields for max shot now deals 1500 base damage. Charging Balefire will feel like a more worthwhile time investment. Okay, so yeah, that's nice. Alright, Aegis Storm. Balefire Charger is now automatically equipped upon activating Aegis Storm instead of needing to activate it. Aegis Storm is now much more fluid regarding ability usage and movement. Hildren can now use Pillage or any Helmet ability while Aegis Storm is active.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a really big change. Hildren can now move around when activating Balefire Charger while in Aegis Storm instead of being locked in place. Hildren's maximum speed, movement, acceleration, and hover ascension rate while in Aegis Storm have been increased. So those are all good. I don't know how helpful it'll be in the end still, but that's actually quite good. Deactivating Aegis Storm now makes Hildren invincible for a short period to prevent dying mid-animation. Deactivating Aegis Storm now slams all lifted enemies simultaneously, unlike when they dropped with random delays previously. And then last is Nova. Nova's original passive emitted blast damage upon her being knocked down, meaning any Prime Sure-Footed users would have this nullified entirely. So we've whipped up a new passive that feels more appropriate to modern Warframe standards. Enemies killed while slowed have a 15% chance to drop a health orb. Enemies killed while sped up have a 15% chance to drop an energy orb. I like the increased incentive here to speed up enemies, honestly. Nullstar ability is now recastable. As this is Nova's main source of damage reduction, players were incentivized to reduce ability range if they wanted to keep as many Nullstar particles as possible. With the ability to recast and maximize your damage reduction, DR-minded players will have more build diversity available to them. Increased base particle count from 6 to 12. That's actually a really big bump. 18 particles are still needed to maintain 90% damage reduction, but it's now much easier for players to hit that cap. With the increased particle count, the VFX will become more subtle the more particles you have. These particles will also dissolve when aiming down sight to prevent them from obstructing player view. Damage resistance from Nullstar now applies to both shields and health, previously only applied to health. Change damage type from slash to blast damage with guaranteed blast proc. Base Nullstar damage has also been increased to 300. Neutron Star Augment. Recasting will cause remaining particles to seek out enemies and then replenish the particles orbiting Nova. Heat damage and guaranteed heat proc now apply to all Nullstar particles, not just the ones sent out via recast. Ooh, sorry, I've been talking a lot. Anyways, Antimatter Drop. Tapping the ability input while an Antimatter Drop is active will massively increase its speed, causing it to zoom in the direction of the player's reticle. As a result, only one Antimatter Drop can be cast at a time. The music actually fucking ended. This is a 30-minute loop. Have we actually been doing this for that long?
Damn.
Okay, hold on. Let's just... Sorry, I have to grab this again. Anyways. So beyond that, as a result, only one Antimatter Drop can be active at a time. Antimatter Drop has historically been difficult to control, with its speed only increasing once the orb is fully charged. This gives players the ability to shoot at the slow-moving orb to maximize damage, and then catapult it towards unsuspecting enemies at their whim.
Fuck yeah.
Charge damage type change from radiation to blast with a guaranteed status chance. That's actually kind of fucking nuts. And now it's at a cap of 18. You could only get 20. They nerfed it a long time ago, because you used to be able to achieve you could achieve 100% or more with certain invigorations. That nerf happened ages ago. It caps at 90%. Now, you could go over, so you could protect your damage reduction if you lost a particle. I guess we'll have to see how that shakes out. I think 90 has still been the cap regardless, though. Okay, only 5 shots will be absorbed by Antimatter Drop to reach full charge, excluding multi-shot. Teleporting an Antimatter Drop via a wormhole will automatically charge the orb halfway. That sounds like a funny idea, actually. Updated the orb's appearance to better communicate its charging mechanic. The orb now looks like one sphere contained within another. The inner sphere will grow in size as damage is absorbed. Improved Antimatter Drop's logic, so it tries to stay within the player's line of sight to avoid cases of players losing the orb after casting. Removed collision on the Antimatter Drop orb, so it will no longer be blocked by allies. Alright, Wormhole. Removed Wormhole's duration will now stay up indefinitely unless all of its charges have been used, or it has been replaced by a recast of Wormhole when players have created the maximum number of portals. Added icons above each wormhole to indicate how many times it can be used before disappearing. Holding the ability input will display the exit point of the wormhole, similar to Colorbo's Wrathful Advance. Okay, that's nice. Also, yeah, the Nyx rework and the Trinity one are going to be in 1999. So those ones we'll probably hear more about, I'd say, at the Devstream at the end of this month or maybe next month. Or sorry, end of October or maybe November. Alright, Molecular Prime. Added a tap/hold functionality. Tap to cast slowing effect, hold to cast speed up effect. The Speedfa build has been a long-time staple of Novas everywhere, and it's a fantastic example of bug-turned feature. While we love the quirk that resulted in our beloved Speedva, negative strength offers little benefit to Nova's kit beyond this mechanic. After much deliberation, we decided it was best for all Nova players to make this quality of life change. Swap between speed and slow in mission as you wish, without worrying about accidentally bringing a Slova to your defense sorties. Slow and speed effects are both kept at 75% respectively, and scaled the same with strength. Okay? Is that... I think that's unchanged. I might be misremembering. I think that's unchanged. Increase base slow speed effect from 30 to 50, so it's going to take less to reach the max. Bonus damage multiplier now applies to Overguard health and shields. This multiplier has also been added to the ability screen so players can understand it better. Buff to Speedva. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I can't remember if Speedva was technically slightly better now. Speed up effect will bypass crowd control immunity. Oh god. So you can speed up Eximus units now, because it's not considered a crowd control effect anymore. Killing primed enemies will have a 20% chance to proc blast on nearby foes. Alright. Molecular fission. Null star will apply. Molecular primed enemy struck by its particles. That's actually very based. Okay. So it looks like that's that for these. 30% because you couldn't get strength lower than 10%. Yeah, so it looks like this is effectively... Now, I will say, of all of these things, like all the stuff we've read, the companion rework, these reworks, all that are very good. I am nervous about this. The change... Why does this page highlight like this? Fusion Strike's changes, to me, sound like a nerf right now. This is just my early opinion. We'll have to see what happens. I do not agree with them removing the armor strip zone. This ability was actually, in my opinion, very good. It was one of the few things on Caliban that he was actually very good at. So we'll have to see how this works. Especially because it kind of feels like the way they're tweaking is that a Fusion Strike is going to kind of be another kill enemies in a line ability. I think I've made my public opinion on that pretty clear. I am kind of sick of them at this point. So we'll have to see how this actually plays in practice. Because I feel like this is one of those things where maybe it'll be functionally similar, maybe it'll be way worse. We're just going to kind of have to see. Because I'm not currently a huge fan of the approach that they have outlined here with the removal of that armor strip zone. We'll have to see. Like I said, hopefully they can take some feedback on that. I understand the rationale of doing the armor strip before the damage, but I think it still should have left the zone. Regardless, though, this does seem very interesting overall. And then, of course, we have Koumei herself. I don't believe there's a dev workshop about her, actually. We can probably look. Developer workshops. We can just go back. New player experience. This one dropped a while ago. Drop rate data. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing in here about Koumei specifically. Koumei wasn't to kill enemies in a line, but Caliban is. Yeah, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Also see a blueprint. Koumei is very interesting. The way that she's structured to be like an RNG-focused frame is really cool. I really like that idea, where it's like she can... Okay, I will say this. The decrees in normal missions thing is actually fucking nuts. And I think it's a really, really cool idea. Because this is going to make Koumei, like, kind of de facto, she'll be the best in endless missions for, like, playing her. Because you can rack up decrees. Is there a chance she'll get nerfed? Maybe, but I feel like what will make Koumei different from prior nerfs like Dante is Koumei will actually have to work for her power. Like,
unless she gets lucky, of course.
Well, yeah, but that's part of, I guess, the fun of it. Because it doesn't sound like they have a duration. I guess we'll have to see. If you can stack them infinitely... I didn't see
the duration immediately, but they might be. They might add one.
We'll have to see about that.
Speaking of which, though, what's her helmet slot? Did they mention that?
I'm seething right now. Honestly, I'm on your side on this, Idan. This does look like it's effectively a nerf, or at best, they've changed what the purpose of the ability is. Also, for the decrees, if they have a duration, that would kind of suck. I actually hope they don't. Or if they have, like, a cap. My personal hope is that they don't. Would that be really powerful? Yes, but I think that if you're going to sit... It would take
so long to get that point, then fuck it, you're just basically playing... what's at that point? You might as well...
Yeah, like, if you're sitting there and you have to complete, you know, what, almost 200 of these little mini-games for every decree, you fucking earned it at that point, if you ask me. We'll have to see how that goes, though, if they'll have, like, durations tied to them, or anything like that. We did see her level a decree up in the footage, where she got a stack of one that added to a pre-existing stack. There's only 176 decrees. Yeah, I think that's around the correct number. I haven't checked since they last updated them. In the circuit, if they stacked infinitely. Having her in Duviri could also honestly be a ton of fun. Another thing that I think is kind of an underrated potential part of this is in Duviri, decrees affect your operator, which would mean that for Koumei, she'd be able to take advantage of certain operator synergies with those decrees way more easily. Like Last Gasp, for example, is much, much more effective if you're using decrees. Obviously, you won't have access, more likely than not at least, outside of Duviri. You probably won't have access to like the increased damage per decree and stuff like that from the intrinsics, but I still think it would be really big to have, you know, like Bombastein's Malice or something like that on your operator so that you can revive yourself more easily, or just even honestly play an operator-focused playstyle, because that stuff is honestly fun. When you have like a zillion decrees and your operator just goes sicko mode, that shit is hilarious. So, I guess that's that for the melee hits are doubled. The big one for me is close contagion. If we can get close contagion, that's gonna be big. 600% power strength. Yeah, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what happens. Another thing I want to look at. Let me grab this real quick. I'm gonna have to. I'm pulling up this scene just so I don't fuck anything up while I'm pulling things up here. Let me find... Okay, we have the official release trailer. Yeah, I want to see something in here. We have... Okay, Koumei introduction. Okay. I'm grabbing the trailer. Let me... stop our music for a second. I want to grab the trailer again, because I want to look at something with you all. Okay, we're going to switch back to this. So... here's what I'm curious about. Here's what I'm curious about for this trailer. Sorry, I have to juggle a few things to get my chat back. I'm curious. So we're going back to Cetus. Obviously, you can see that all here. But I'm also curious about the nature of the infested enemies. So these are just some disruptors. Leaping Thrashers are back, which is interesting. These guys have not been in anywhere other than Deimos and I think the Zealoid mission. So the Leaping Thrashers coming back is cool. But there was something I had spotted in the trailer I want to get a second glance at. If I can find it. Okay, so that's a MOA. It was this Karnas. That was really loud. My apologies. This Karnas. Let me turn this down. Does he not look a little different to anyone else? Maybe I'm just tweaking, but this looks different than the Deimos variation. Oh, so yeah, they do appear as Demolishers. That's a Karnas Rex. The Karnas Rex is red, typically, like bright red. My curiosity is if they'll have a different model because they're not part of the Gray strain. Because technically, the Gray strain on Deimos is its own infested like microbiome. So I'm wondering if these guys will be new. Because they're not part of Deimos. So it looks a little different to me. Maybe I'm just misremembering, but the Tendrils has got like this like head armor piece that I feel like looks different. It still seems to be from the animation work. It still seems to be a Karnas. You can see the way it's moving. It's still a Karnas. Also, yeah, the Gray strain is locked to Deimos as far as I'm aware. I was also wondering in this scene if any of these were a new enemy. Those are just MOAs, though. So other than the Leaping Thrashers return, I don't think there's much new there. Like I said, Leaping Thrashers, other than, you know, Deimos and Disruption, don't exist anywhere else as far as I'm aware. So I think that's interesting. I'm guessing we'll get like slight model changes for lore consistency. We also obviously have the shot here with the 3 deluxe skins. All of these look fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Caliban looks super out of place, I'm not gonna lie, because he has no matching theming.
Yeah.
The website mentions galvanized melee mods coming. If you could send that to me on Discord, I would appreciate it, because I didn't see anything like that on there. Do you mean on the forums or on warframe.com? Because I have not heard... Galvanized melee mods don't even seem like they need to exist, but the main website... Let me pull up the... Free Caliban giveaway. New game mode. Oh shit, you're actually right. Hold on. There is something here about this. Why did they not bring this up? Okay. Hold up. We're pulling this page up. This got me fucked up for real. This got me fucked up for real.
Simon's a taste like Simon's chicken, $6.49. Let's go.
Okay, here's the update page. The dice moving with the mouse is kind of novel. So we have what her different abilities do. Are listed here. Galvanite Square Steel. So yeah, yeah, we have these ones. Honestly, this ability, her first ability, sounds like we're finally getting Tripwire from old Vauban, but good.
Let's go.
And also, yeah, inflicts one of every status effect. You have 666. What the fuck?
Base.
And then this one, which is, yeah, earn a random decree. And then, yeah, grants a decree without a challenge. Surround yourself with charms as a chance to heal instead of damage you, and then roll triple sixes makes you invulnerable. And then, yeah, we have the new weapons. Aiming creates a shield that blocks weapon fire. That's really cool. I've wanted a gun shield in this game for ages. Decree ability, her helmet. It doesn't say what her helmet is. Honestly, I don't know what they're going to make her helmet. Sentiments are already OP. Yeah, I feel like these don't need to exist. Yeah, roll Koumei's die with every 30 swings, grant 1 to 5, or rolls of 1 to 5 grant 1 buff, roll of 6 grants all buffs at once. A login to unlock Caliban. Alright, story. Saya is haunted by dreams of Cetus under siege from the sea. The infested rise and attack while Vehek gloats. They are a haunting vision of things to come, a fate dream sent from Koumei who offers you to help you assist in defending the Ostrons. New game mode Shrine Defense. Shrine Defense is a new game mode available to Tenno at nearly all skill levels. Infested enemies are emerging from the ocean and advancing on the Ostrons. You must collect fate pearls for Koumei and defend the village at all costs. You may be in for a challenging fight with the infested Oni. Okay, but by offering tribute to Koumei, you can wield her powerful dice rolls for yourself and bring peace back to Cetus. Arsenal upgrades.
This is like Buster Dassos.
Also, power up your Warframe with new augments for Hildrin, Varuna, Grendel, and Gyre. Rank up 5 new arcane enhancements or bolster your favorite melee weapons with 3 new galvanized mods.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm surprised we heard nothing about those. Is this Mirror Defense reskinned? And then new Incarnans. There's Shot of Sybaris. And we already heard about those. And then What Is My Fate, which is the music track, the Koumei Visions bundle, Sakura Storm collection, merchandise, and the Caliban collection. QOL updates, Nova Light rework. Light my ass. That was pretty extensive.
Light rework my fucking ass.
Okay, if this is going to be what constitutes a light rework, I have a lot more hope about Trinity and Nick's upcoming reworks. If this is a light rework. Caliban, new player experience, God bless. Sisters can actually spawn with armor now. This has been bugged for 4 years. For those who don't know, sisters were supposed to spawn with armor like this, and it was bugged for super long. They never actually appeared like that in-game. Oh my god, wait a second. No, I don't want to open the video. God damn it. Give me a second. It's being mean to me. What I wanted was this image. I want this image. Look, I'm bent. I'm bent out of shape about something right now. What, the chicken? Not the chicken. Look at the Kavat in this promo image. It's rescaling. He has no hair on his ears. They still haven't fixed it, and it ended up in the promo image. Look at him. He has no hair. This bug is still in the game. So there is no download image because it's a redirect to a YouTube video. It just wants me to open the link. So the Kavat hair is still missing. I'm fucking killing myself. It has been bugged for a year. I need to just, like, show up to DE's office and be like, hey, I have a handwritten note about this bug. I'm gonna hand it in myself. This makes me very distraught. What do you fucking mean Kavats are still hairless? I'm seething so hard right now. And then, yeah, Koumei and the 5 Fates. Well, this actually frightens me. Thank you to whoever pointed this out. I can't remember what your name was, but thank you for pointing out that the website had this information. I would have not even thought to look here. We don't need galvanized melee mods. We don't need these. I'm genuinely, like, horrified about this. Melees after the addition of Influence are so good, and you can see, right? If these are the mods that we're working, or that we're getting galvanized, that's True Steel, Melee Prowess, and Reflex Coil. Reflex Coil is interesting, because that, I believe, is a finisher damage mod. Or no, it's heavy attack efficiency, isn't it? I think it's one of those. I think it's heavy attack efficiency. Why the fuck would we need this? Condition Overload already exists. Same with True Steel. Now, Sacrificial Steel has been really dominant. Maybe there will be something different there. Heavy attack efficiency? Yeah, I got it confused with something else for a second there. I'm curious how this is gonna go. Because after the addition of melee influence, this shit does not need to exist. Influence alone made melees one of... Honestly, I think you could genuinely argue at this point that Zorus alone is the best weapon in the entire game. The addition of influence alone made these insane. As well as Afflictions was also a huge addition for heavy attack builds and stuff. So, we'll have to see. Now, I do hope these will work on Exalteds, because Galvanized mods do work on Exalteds that aren't melees. So, we'll have to see about that. But, this is interesting, especially as well, Hildryn, Varuna, Grendel, and Gyre. Gyre I'm actually very excited about. I really want them to give her an augment that gives her shields or armor strips. I think that those would both help her a lot. Especially one that affects her 1, because her 1 is kind of the helmet slot for a lot of people, 1 or 2. And then Hildryn, I think the only ability she doesn't have an augment for right now is Aegis Storm, right? Because she has Blazing Pillage is a pillage augment. Haven, I guess, doesn't technically have one, even though they're related. Grendel, I think the only... What's the thing you could get for this at this point? I guess one for his 4, probably? Because, Grendel has the one that makes it so you can, catapult, and then he has Gourmand and Healthy Nourishment, or I think it's called. I'm actually selling my Caliban. What I think that they honestly should do for Gyre is give her an augment for her 1, where her 1 takes armor and shields from enemies and gives them to Gyre as shields. I think having them as like a defense leech that heals and restores shields to Gyre would be really cool, and play into her area lockdown theme that is kind of underexplored because she's just so much better with pillage.
Yeah.
Varuna, I don't really know, because she already has Ulfrin's Endurance, so I guess we'll have to see what this will be for her other abilities.
Actually enables puppy mode.
Pillage but Gyre? I think it would be interesting, because it would be Pillage but Gyre, sort of quote-unquote, but it would be based on an area. She couldn't just press it and get everyone near her. She would want to throw it in areas that are high traffic, so enemies will walk into it. I think that there's potential there. I can see the criticism, but I think there's potential there. And then, it says 5 new arcane enhancements. I'm guessing those are from the new missions? Regurgitates augment even do. I have no idea, honestly. I'm curious. That's the only one I could think they'd be adding. That's other players pet her? Maybe. Yeah, Varuna, Hildryn would have to be for her 4 or her 3, I would guess. Could be passive augments. That's true, actually. We could be getting another passive augment. Dude, just watch as Gyre's just uncaps her passive. I'd be so fucking pissed if they made that an augment.
Honestly.
But yeah, this is interesting. So once again, thank you to whoever in my chat pointed this out. If you've already said your name, I missed it again because I'm stupid. But thank you for pointing this out. I would not have guessed to look here. Being a fix for economy problems, we'll have to see. My guess with this is, the stacking condition will probably be kind of unique. Oh yeah, thank you. Plaid Dragon, I think is your name. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And then I just want to, once again, Umbrella Gun looks fucking awesome. The gun shield is actually hype as fuck. I'm really excited about that. Amanata, it's cool that we have a Naginata-inspired weapon. I'm still a little miffed that we're not getting a dual Nakata. I really do think the game needs another one, but it's only been, what, a year and a half at this point. You a refresh on companions. I went through the entire thing a bit earlier on the stream. If you rewind a bit, I did a breakdown about it earlier if you want to go through the blog post. So, also, weaves the resistance to unleash damage and ensure survivability. Okay, so we're sticking with the whole high damage, high survivability bullshit of modern Warframe descriptions. Have you guys noticed that? Every Warframe is they have high damage and high survivability. That's fantastic. That doesn't tell me shit. It's so common. And/or two-handed Nakanas. I think that, heavy scythes have been kind of left in the dust for almost 2 years now, after Citrine came out. What they withheld. I will say, first of all, that is an incredibly loaded question, but I do kind of agree with you that they held a lot of stuff away from TennoCon just to save it for this. I don't really care a ton, especially with the the announcement that this is coming out next week, I can see why they kind of want to put it off to all show off at once, but Ghoul Saw Wraith, if only. But yeah, I agree. I do think that they just felt like they pushed this all off. I don't disagree with that. It was very annoying at the time. I won't deny that at all, because we had to wait, what, 2.5 months to finally hear more about this? But it's also kind of all the information's like centralized and a lot more immediate. Don't think it's that bad of a situation. My kind of frustration is it felt like they brought up Lotus Eaters and told us what was in it, and then they brought up this update and said basically nothing other than, like, a general overview, and then they went on to 1999. I would have appreciated a bit more at the time, but it's not the end of the world. I just thought it kind of felt like a... TennoCon in general felt like a comeback in the future for the next dev streams about this stuff kind of deal. I'm pretty sure on a dev short, Megan said that we will be getting a dev stream in October still, so I'm guessing that October and maybe November will contain more 1999 information. So we'll have to see about that, I guess. Koumei just a week away. I am surprised that she's coming out so soon. Won't connect to 1999. She's obtainable early game according to this thing here. You scroll down to new game mode. It says nearly all skill levels. So I'm guessing that she probably won't be connected to 1999 in any significant way. Wasn't finished back then. We'll have to see. It's weird because I don't entirely understand the development cycle of Warframes. Like, they said that they had been working on Corvex for almost a year, but he contains 2 reused animations. Combined with 5 Fates. I'm not entirely sure why they released it separately. Because it was a very minor update. It was Sevagoth Prime Access, and then a 5-minute intro teaser kind of thing. Doesn't seem that interesting overall. I personally disagree. I think that 1999 is a very interesting update, but I think it's just a matter of preference. Also, we have gotten the Corvex augment in Wrecking Wall, which is very good. I actually highly recommend Wrecking Wall. Double resource decree with Koumei? That's actually a very good question. If we can get Bountiful Harvest, they might have to pull that one out of the pool, unironically, because it would make farming with Koumei the de facto strategy, which just brings back the charm problem. I guess it depends on what it functions on. If it is only, like, breakables, like crates and shit, then it should be fine, but I guess we'll have to see. I'm not sure if they'll restrict any decrees. What if it's just you, not allies? That could be the case. Let's see the decree ability Beer Helminth. I doubt that on the grounds of how powerful it is, but we'll have to see. Just a select pool that will arbitrarily decide. Once again, we'll have to see. They have said nothing about what is available. It just says earn a decree. So we know nothing about what's in the pool. For each decree you own. Fleet-footed is fun as fuck, and you can just not take it. Like, I mean, presumably. I guess I'm not sure if they give you they'll give you options or not. If they don't, I can see fleet-footed being fairly disruptive, but... Def Helminth. I feel like this one is probably going to be the Helminth, because you can't become invincible with the charms. So it might be that this one, the third ability, is the Helminth. I think that's a fair prediction. Video with her abilities on YT? Yeah, we watched it during the live show as well. Like, a lot of these questions, we'll just have to see what the answer is, you know, when this character actually releases. Because the decree thing in particular, I think, is, like, legitimately nuts and potentially game-breaking. So we'll have to see, like, is there a limit? Are they timed for how long you get the decree for? What's that look like? Because I think once we have more information about how it actually functions, then we should be able to do a better job of, you know, putting together theories for how this stuff actually works. I don't have much more to talk about. We'll go for like another minute. Also, yeah, the 4 is going to be interesting. I'm not really sure how that's going to go. It doesn't sound amazing, but we'll have to see. I am very shocked. I expected this to be like mid-October, not, you know, next Wednesday. You can re-roll it when it ends predictably. We'll have to see. Like I said, I don't... Unless there's some source for where that information is coming from, because I don't think that the one on their YouTube is any different than what we watched. I guess I'll have to find out. If someone has any resource that gives us more verifiable information on how the ability functions, I would appreciate it. Because I feel like a lot of people are speculating with things that sound incredibly definitive, and I don't think it is entirely fair. As it stands, as far as I know, we don't know the details of how it's going to work beyond it gives you a decree. Duration, how much they stack, what's in the pool, none of that, as far as I'm aware, is currently information that we have access to. If that ever changes prior to the update, then, you know, if someone could link me to it, I can talk about it. Otherwise, though, I don't want to speculate things and act like they're fact or that they're definitive, because I feel like that is kind of shitty, I guess. So, bought ribbons for the upcoming incarnates. That's a good idea. I have a Sybaris ribbon, and I think I have a Dara ribbon too. Getting King's Collateral. I do think there actually is a good chance the Spitefuls could potentially not be in the pool if you can't pick, because it might be kind of bullshit to get a Spiteful decree, but in a way that they'll be heard to be a DE. I'll be honest with you, Idan, I don't know. The only time I ever know for sure that DE listened to me was I made a Reddit post talking about something that was added to the game later. I'm actually going to do a video on this soon. Mirage, on the release of the Jovian Concord, could not hack the Jupiter traps, and I made a video that I posted to Reddit and I posted to the forums, talking about how I thought that it was weird that it didn't work. And a DE employee actually replied to me saying they were looking into it, and like a month later it was actually added.
Oh, yeah.
That is the only time I know for sure that DE directly listened to something I talked about. When it comes to... Actually, I actually know what you could do, Idan. When they post, like, these updates, they usually on the forums have feedback for different things. There will probably be a feedback subform specifically for Nova and Caliban's rework. So when that subform opens after the release of the update, I would say put your feedback in there. That's probably the highest chance you'll have of getting it seen. Need that 1% damage. I am excited for the Incarnates, because I'm curious how they'll function. Dude, I'm gonna become fucking platinum broke after the release of this update. Probably what I'll do. I think that's probably the best option. I'm sorry, Rose just sent me something fairly traumatizing and it distracted me.
Oh, God.
About more Nova stuff, like her augments. We did go over the dev workshop and saw that stuff earlier. Fix based off your videos. One thing that does feel like it could be based on my videos, because I never thought they would actually add this, they said in the new player experience blog post, if you try to delete an unmastered weapon, they are going to warn you with a confirm prompt. Thank fucking God. This is actually a huge change. Getting changed with the update. We saw 2 of them. Hold on. Let me go to Pablo's account. I'm just reading this offhand here. This looks like stuff that was already in the thing. Yeah, this was stuff that was already in the blog post. And then there's just pictures of his cat, and then it goes to stuff that's not from today. They've now re-added gambling to Warframe. Is it a good one? Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I think we're going to go ahead and cut the stream here. I don't think there's much more to talk about, at least for now. Finally be good with the new companion loadouts. I think Venari's already good. I just think she's unoriginal. That's my main issue with her. She doesn't feel that unique. I bet Pablo watches your videos. Well, he doesn't ever fucking reply to me on Twitter. Then again,
he doesn't use Twitter anymore.
No, he does, just very inconsistently.
Correct.
So, I would love to be able to actually speak to him one day, because Pablo is a guy that I honestly, as a game designer, look up to, and I have some things I'd love to talk with him about, but I don't think that'll ever happen. The only... Look, I'll be honest with you all, okay? Listen to me. We're gonna be real quiet. Don't tell anyone I said this. DE plays favorites with Brozyme. Brozyme is the one who gets to talk to him, not me. I don't think I've ever heard of another YouTuber interviewing Pablo, but I'm pretty sure Pablo has been on Brozyme's stream multiple times. So, that's just the reality of that, is that I don't think they're ever going to talk to me, because if they want to talk to a Warframe creator who they consider some voice for the community, they talk to Brozyme. So, and I'm not even an official Warframe creator, right? I've never been extended an offer into the program or anything. Then again, I have no business email attached to my account. Maybe coolkid369 at dickandnuts.com will have to become real. Has a bit of influence. The only thing I know for sure is Gaz getting, I think it was Ophelia, like, nerfed. But, and look, I will say, when they banned him, Taylor was kind of Sab's connection. I've talked with Sab in private, and he actually apparently spoke with Taylor somewhat frequently. She was like the one member of the community team that felt reachable, from what he explained. I won't go into more detail, because obviously that's Sab's story, and he can tell it if he wants, but is not a thing anymore. I don't believe so. I'm actually not 100% sure. Like a few bucks a year. Here's the thing. According to, like, GoDaddy, it would be like, I think $8 a month. That just feels like a bad fucking deal, honestly. But I'll have to look into it, because it would be really funny. I just don't want to tie it to this domain in case I ever lose it for any reason. Ophelia was a mission node. Ophelia was a mission node. There was a farm there that got nerfed. I don't remember the details, but there are videos about it. Handshake removed. People, that was never even listed in the patch notes. I will not take the fall for the handshake removal thing. I could not find it in any patch notes I looked through for like weeks after that change happened. Look, I've looked through a lot of Warframe patch notes. I almost always read them on release, and I went through a bunch of old ones during the Overguard video. Which is also funny, minor side rant, when people get mad at me for certain claims I make about Overguard, when I show patch notes, showing the developers, saying the thing I'm relaying to the audience, I always found that to be kind of funny when I would receive comments being like, you know, that's an unsubstantiated claim, or like, you must be tweaking if you think that's true, and it's like, ask the fucking developers yourselves. It's on the screen right now. I don't know. It happens more than once. Another thing was when I talked about the whole, like, do you think developers actually make changes with the intent of making their game worse? Several people just commented yes, and I feel like if you're going to logically believe that developers make their game worse on purpose because they hate their player base, that's kind of stupid. Can developers make bad changes? Yes. I don't think it's ever with the goal of making a bad change, you know what I mean? Regardless of any of that shit, though, this stream has been dragging on for quite a while. Redo their missions over and over and get infinite rep. I have not been aware of that, and I will not... Do not explain how to do it. Advocating and explaining exploits is a bannable offense. I'm actually very worried because Dystopia just posted a video about an exploit, and I really hope they don't ban Dystopia over it. Because for those who don't know, that's why Noob Showtech got banned. He showed an exploit that let you level things really fast. There is one major difference. Noob strategy required a macro. You could not do it manually. If you want to get it fixed, I would recommend contacting, either post it on the bug report forums, or, because it's sensitive information, contact DE support directly and ask them where to report it, or how to report it. Because it is completely fair to not want that information to get out. So if there's a particular method to it, I would recommend contacting DE support and asking them where to report the exploit. I also did hear about the Helminth exploit for 2 buffing skills. Once again, I don't know how to do it. I doubt that one would be a bannable offense, but I still would rather not talk about it. I'm on console and they asked for a video. If you have... I don't know, does Xbox have upload anymore? I actually don't know if it does. I hate to say I'm not sure how you would record that. It takes like a month to respond. It depends on the nature of the issue from what I've heard. Got your, gets you 2035, it seems. Interesting. I was unaware of that. Because, like, for those who don't know, Dystopia posted a video, and some other people have propagated this, of a way to farm infinite stalker drops. I could see that getting him banned. And I want to be like honest with you all. Glazing aside, I do think Dystopia is probably the best Warframe player of all time, and losing him would be a huge fucking tragedy. So it's like 20 minutes? That's interesting. Warframe is not hard. I mean, I agree with that, but 10-hour survival longs... so 10-hour survival runs won't get your account banned normally. They will probably get you trade banned, and that's a completely automatic process where the game is like, you have a suspicious amount of resources, so you can't trade for 2 weeks. Xbox and PlayStation both pulled Twitter support? Okay. I don't know how you would attach that, because, like, Xbox has upload, and I believe that goes into your OneDrive, so you could recover it on your PC. PlayStation, I have no idea. Like I said, I don't know about certain things being bannable or not. I have not heard of anyone getting banned for those things, but I do think there is a legitimate risk if you abuse those exploits, or, more importantly, if you publicize and advocate for their use. For macros, yeah, that was, as far as more kind of the main reason that they said that they had banned Baker was because of the use of macros, but that's a controversy I'm not super educated on. I think Sabuchi, if he's ever streaming at any point soon, knows Baker, like, personally, so he'd probably be a better resource than that for me. There's an app? Okay, good to know. Since it's still the same chance for drops. I disagree. The reason being, you can literally spawn a stalker, like, every 10 seconds. Like, keep in mind how low his drop chance, or his spawn chance is normally. You can walk out of a mission after 20 minutes with, like, 30 of every drop. Which I think is big for people who haven't been able to get them. Hopefully it won't be considered a bannable offense. I hope that they just fix it, and that's the end of it, but I guess we'll have to see. Like I said, whether or not it's bannable, I can't say for sure. I've never seen anyone get banned for it. I just want to say, there is a good chance it is a bannable offense based on precedent. I would not recommend doing it. Don't take advantage of it, and don't advocate for it, unless you want to run the risk of your account getting banned. You can spawn like that with beacons. This is way easier. The current method that uses the current system is way easier than spawning with beacons. Especially because with beacons, they're way more expensive. The Stalker have any good drops? If you haven't been able to get... Okay, well, first of all, yes, because of the Incarnate editions. Like, War and Broken War specifically aren't super relevant anymore, but now that he has the Incarnins, all of his original weapon trio is very good, yes. Maybe to counter the problem. I actually agree, especially with the Wolf being such a big pain in the ass to grind. I think if you spawn an enemy like that with a beacon, they should be guaranteed to drop at least one thing that they can drop.
Wait, do they have a chance to not drop it like that?
Yes. The Wolf of Saturn 6 in particular is egregious about this. Getting Wolf Sledge is a huge pain in the ass. Slash isn't his dominant status effect. I feel like that kind of makes it... I don't feel like it got better so much as that the game changed around it to make it less hamstrung by its stats, but it's still the giant baseball bat. I got regular Detron recently. Yeah, that shit sucks. Farming for Detron and Barak is a huge pain in the ass. Is now 100%. Did they ever change him? He used to be like 20-something. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Wolf of Saturn 6. Do they not have his drop chances listed? Okay, wow. Thanks, Wiki, for nothing. Warframe.com/drop tables. Wolf of Saturn 6. He has a 100% chance to drop a mod. Nothing in here about his other things. Oh, wait, here they are. Okay, his item drop chance was buffed to 100%. So thank you for pointing that out. It looks like, though, The motor and blueprint are 11%, while the handle and head are 40%. So the drop chance varies massively between parts. But like, it used to be, I think, like 30% or something. So thank you for pointing that out. The each 15, 20, 22% drop rate. It looks like the mod drop chance and the item drop chance are separate, which is good. Also, I used Metroid Prime 2 music in a couple videos now, actually. Actually got higher. Yeah, that's tragic. Because goddamn, that drop chance fucking sucks. Need to be tradable, if only. We're just sitting on this page. Once again, dice appreciation. They move around with the mouse. That's novel. 1999 still has its own section, too. Play the demo for a free longsword skin. Get your account ready for release. We have a bunch of media, I guess. Oh, yeah. Have you guys seen these? They have these little, like, in-universe fan sites. Also, yeah, the dev stream was about 2 hours ago now. So, a little Easter egg on these. I believe if you refresh them, there is a chance that they get corrupted. I think it's on refresh. I think it was Flary sent me some stuff about it. Rebecca F. Double click? Okay. Yeah, here we go. So we have this weird shit going on now. About cross-trading. I think it's a good thing for the game overall. This stuff is so fucking difficult to read. I'm not going to bother trying. He really knows how to consume a girl's organs.
What?
I agree. He just like me for real? What do you mean that's hot? What the fuck? Hey, yo?
What?
And then I believe we have, there's so many sticky notes on here. Yeah, the Atami Cycle page. Which also has some stuff about it here. And then we also have, I believe, yeah, this one, which is a bunch of, like, dossiers that Albrecht has on these guys. Thank you for the 2, Robin. Just like me, for real, I love consuming women's organs. Thanks for sharing. I'm guessing there's one specific organ that you... Never mind. I think that, yeah, those are the 3, basically. Something like that, you're banned. The Crumb Guzzler was funny because they said on the dev stream that they had that they were embarrassed that had shown up, but it's weird because like Warframe is very inconsistent about that stuff. Like there are sexually suggestive themes. Like Daggeth's entire lore revolves around basically a taboo affair with a Dax, but at the same time, they do like not let you pull shit like that normally. I do think it is a big point of hypocrisy. For certain things like that. Like Sabuchi getting Joe Biden, his Vulpaphyla, forcefully renamed. After, mind you, like, in the terms of service, if you have an offensive name or an offensive, like, named item, they're supposed to just give you a warning and change the name of the item. Sabuchi just got banned. No anything else.
Yeah.
I think that's very bad, and that they should be more consistent about that. Oh, sorry, Rosie just sent me, ignore that, I meant to send it to PJ. Thanks, Rosie. Anyways.
It was porn, wasn't it?
It was not porn, it was just something that was a little wacky, we'll put it that way. Literally just named the N-word in all caps. Reported that guy, obviously. Yeah, I remember Phoenix's devastation that they couldn't name their fucking, Kubro Obama Netflix. George Floyd, fucking hell. Basically mentions they are infestation. I mean, yeah, it's something that's already kind of known, I think. It just gives a little bit more world building, I guess, to them. For saying Bo Jiden. Grim. Space Aids 2 is still fine. I don't get it, man. You can't name your Zaw foreskin peeler. That's too explicit. Sorry, everyone. Go home.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be funny anymore. Fuck off. Gay baby jails have to settle for cuck chair. You know, I respect that. Fair enough. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream here. This went on for longer than I expected because we had quite a bit to go through. Thanks again to, whatever that person, Plaid something, I keep forgetting your name, who pointed out the website. That was a lot of help for finding out about some things I didn't mention on that stream. I don't know why they didn't bring that up. That was all kind of important information. But Koumei and the Five Fates launches next week, October the 2nd, which is a Wednesday. They said October 3rd in Japan, so presumably it'll be kind of later in the day, I would guess. Maybe in like the afternoon, I guess we'll have to see. I work that day. Maybe I'll see if I can switch shifts with someone to stream it the day of. Otherwise, you'll probably get one of those streams like I did with Daggeth and stuff, where I'll play the update and then I'll give you guys my thoughts the day after, so I can sort of form a more complete opinion as I play through it. Otherwise, though, thanks for joining. Discord's in the description, VOD playlist is in the description, all that kind of thing. Thank you all for showing up, and I'll see you all next time. See